Okay, folks, we'll get started here. Um, Having issues. I'm probably not going to ever film another video that is not a live feed. This is causing me so many fucking problems. I filmed the Gaslands videos the other day and it tied up my entire phone the entire time, and now I want to switch to my own channel so I can see your guys' comments, and it won't let me. It won't let me because it's still uploading my video. It isn't. It's probably going to take it like a month for YouTube to do their thing. So let me see if I can sign in as another way, or any comments that you guys send me, I am not going to be able to see them because I'm going to be on the other screen. Let's see. Yeah, it's got this screen where it's like, hey, your video's uploading. Like, no, it got finished uploading this morning before I went to work. All right, let's do this. And let's do and let me watch a commercial that I did not ask for. Okay, and I'm going to put this horizontal. Okay, so hopefully you guys' comments will come through here. I mean, if you have a comment. So I have done several videos, actually probably like 12 of them, of this Armored Commander. Um, I was asked about it, or I commented that it's a really good game, that it might benefit a certain someone. And I'm like, well, let's just do a live thing and show you the ropes. Now, I am a little rusty, but I have played it a lot. But let me, desktop audio is off. Okay, let's go to this screen here and make sure that this is operating correctly. It's going to be a little bit of about 30-second delay there. But so this is a game that I'm not really sure how I found it, but it is definitely inspired by Patton's Best. And Patton's Best is a board game by Avalon Hill that was made in the mid 90s, early 90s. And I used to play it tandem with someone. In other words, it's a solitaire game, but what we would do is we'd play one tank all the way through. Is we basically do missions where you manage crew, and it creates a really interesting narrative. I'm expecting top level gameplay. Well, we're gonna see if we find some errors in it, because I have found errors in this game before, and I sent it to the designer. So so basically, what they did is they took Patton's Best, or really that formula, and made it so that not only can you play an American tank crew from Normandy to the end of the war, but you can play an American tank crew in the Pacific, in North Africa, and the added British, Italian. You basically can play anybody. Okay. Right now, there's actually a little theme music. I'm going to remove that for now. It's basically tuned out so I can show you what kind of campaigns we've got. So if you go up here, and a lot of this, you can use the mouse, but it's really meant for the arrows. So it's a little clunky, it's a little old school, but the gameplay is solid. And at first you're like, man, I don't really like these graphics, but it's just fine. It really is just fine. So we're gonna go over here to new campaign. Okay, we're gonna go to, yeah, new campaign. And this is literally all that you can play. The freaking Japanese. Keep your pants on, Hoffman. You can play the Japanese. We're not going to play the Japanese, at least in this installment. The Russians, and it literally goes through the beginning of the war. So you could do the 1939 scenarios. Hell, you can even play the Poles in 1939. We're not going to do that either. We're probably going to do Barbarossa. Look, everyone wanted to play the Belgians. There you can. There you go. You can play it. And basically on here it'll tell you what player force you are here, who your enemy is going to be, the region, how many days of combat it is, difficulty 3 out of 10, and it tells you if somebody created this or not. Okay, so literally you can go all the way This is early war, 39 through 41. So all these scenarios are just 39 to 41. It's insane the amount of stuff that's in here. Okay, um, and it's well worth whatever it's going for. You say Hoffman was like $10. This is probably worth. This is a $50 game, easy, easy. Okay. So you can select the time period. Q and E is one of those things they use a lot. So this is mid-war, late war, early war, mid-war, late war. So you literally can do, Moscow to Stalingrad, Jungle Rats. You could play. What is this? You could play the United Kingdom versus Japan. You know, different things, and some of them are more combat days than other. What the heck is 10 out of 10? Oh, Italians Operation Torch. Yeah, you don't want to do that. It's $10. Probably goes a lot cheaper on sales. I mean, I probably paid more than $10 for it, but I don't think I paid more than 20. Anyhow, if you can get over the letter, the graphics of the writing, which is kind of like old school, like a Amiga Commodore 64 looking, the gameplay is super solid, and it was like when I got the BattleTech game. Um, Obviously, no relation at all, and that has superior graphics, definitely. But when I got the BattleTech game, I already knew how to play the game. When I got this, I already knew how to play this. So, all right. So definitely good narrative. I'm going to suggest we do Barbarossa. That sound okay? Or would you try to do something different? Yeah, except Commodore 64, what? You didn't have like an arrow key for each direction, right? So we're going to go mid-war. Actually, that's considered early war. And we're going to go to. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Barbarossa to Moscow. We're going to play as Germany. Difficulty 5 out of 10. 40 combat days. Now you can actually adjust the combat day length. Okay, so select length A to D. 8. No, we're just going to do the full 40. Okay, I don't know that that's 40 days in June to December 5th. There's going to be combat on them. Okay, so we're going to hit. One thing I need to do is I need to go back to the other screen, and we are going to select desktop. Now I assume that my volume is okay talking. There's going to be a second volume that's going to kick in, and it's going to be the game. We don't want it to be deafening, so let me know if the volume in the game is okay. All right, here we go. Now obviously you can't hear it right now, but I need to also be able to hear it. All right, why is it playing this? I didn't ask it to play that. Let's go here and here, and actually let's go to the main menu. I had sound turned on. There it is. I can hear it. Well, I thought I heard it. This is why I paint. This is why I paint, folks. Okay, I don't know why you're playing this. I don't even know what this is. And that was not playing earlier. God bless it. Okay, let's go here. And yeah, I hear something there. Okay, so we're gonna do new campaign. And we're gonna go to. Okay, you should be getting that sound there. 40 combat days, Barbarossa to Moscow. Warning, campaign game already exists for this campaign. Erase and start a new one? Yeah, we're going to start a new one. Okay, so here's the options you could do on your campaign. Player commander, yeah, we want that on. You take on the role of the vehicle commander. If you're seriously injured, you may miss a number of days of the campaign. If you're killed, your campaign ends. Yeah, we're gonna play the commander. Fate points, we don't want. That's like cheating, basically. If you want like luck or something on there. Realistic explosions, of course, and make them big. Random vehicle model. At the start of a new campaign, and whenever a vehicle is lost, you'll be given a randomly selected list of 2 to 3 vehicle models based on their historical availability on that date. I'm going to actually select no, okay? Because you could get an armored car. Um, yeah, well, there's no sound right now. It's just other than going through the menu. So we're gonna play in a Panzer III. We're gonna be in a Panzer III-G for this demo. Go it alone? No. Usually you have a squad with you. Ahistorical availability? No. Armored cars? Sure. Armored cars and tank destroyers only? No. Realistic injuries? Yep. Enemy rate of fire? Yep. Enemy AI difficulty? Normal? Yep. Okay. So we're going to proceed with the campaign. Alright, I'm going to select. These are the vehicles I can select. So you have a lot of them to choose from. Okay, I don't believe the Panzer III-H was in service already. If there weren't very many of them. I said we're playing a G, and there's no victory point modifier anyways. Okay, you guys should be able to hear this. Okay, Model G. Okay, that's what we're going to have. Has a crew of 5. Okay, we're not going to give it a vehicle name. You can do that. I do that with the Allied tanks. I just don't do it with the German tanks. Okay, and tab to proceed. A little bit of sound there. Okay, so here's your menu there on the command menu here at the bottom, where it says 1, 2, 3, 4. It basically is like a little rainbow of thing. It tells you your day starts at 0400 hours. End of the day is 2024. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to have some objectives, and you have a limited amount of turns to do it, during which time the time passes by at random. Okay? Okay, perfect. I don't want it to be deafening. Unless there's like an explosion, then you know expect it. Okay? So it's definitely, old school. I'm telling you, the gameplay is solid on this thing. So the only thing that's really weird about it is that it uses old school combinations to move around. You can use arrows, Q and E, A and D, S, tab. It'll tell you on each thing what you use, and it's normally like in that light blue color. Okay? So like, you can look at these things, but you start your day when you press tab. So don't press tab yet until you're ready to go. So you're going to have objectives that you have to try to accomplish, and it's kind of random how much time goes by. So there's a little bit of a press your luck thing to it, which I really like, okay? All right, so today's mission is advance. Enemy resistance is scattered, and we're pushing forward, advance into enemy territory, and destroy any resistance. Air support, there's an 80% chance. Every time you call it in, it gets reduced, so you don't want to use it until you need it. Artillery support, also 80%. Unit support, 100%. You can call for you're playing in one tank, but you're playing like a little platoon, and I'll get to that when you see it. Okay. So if you look at the command menu and press the 2 button, here is your tank. Okay. So we're going to this is your crew members. We have Werner, who's the commander, Weif, who is the gunner, Bench, is the loader, driver is Seibert, and Martinek is the assistant driver. Okay? And there's basically like points you can give them. All right? The commander gets 5, the gunner gets 3, the other guys get 1. And it'll change based on the things that they do from battle to battle. Okay? So it, like I said, it provides a good narrative, even though it looks clunky. Um, Here's your little picture of a tank. All right, which most of the time you're not going to see this, but I believe it is on your screen. It basically tells you that you have a coaxial machine gun and a bow machine gun. It's armored. Turret is 4 to the side. Hull is 3 to the front, 3 to the front, and three on the flank. It's front and flank of the turret. And it's equivalent about to centimeters of armor. Okay, so it's got about 40 millimeters of front armor on the turret, 30 millimeters of side armor on the tank. Okay, or so. All right. Um, so we go to E to the crewman member. Okay, and here's your commander, Edwin Werner. Okay, so the first thing we can do is you could change his name. So we can change his name to Hoffman, of course. Okay. I don't know what the fuck this is down here. That does not bode well. I'm not really sure what that means. Enter, add character, backspace, Excel, clear, delete, confirm, and continue. Tab. Uses tab a lot. Okay. Edwin Hoffman. Hoffman, I didn't know your first name was Edwin. No, it is now. You're 27 years old. An Unteroffizier. You don't have a nickname yet. Okay, and here's your stats: perception, morale, grit, and knowledge. You're in good order, and here's the skills that you have. Now you've got 5 points you can add, so we can select the skill. You have combined operations, experienced commander, trained gunner. You're a trained driver. Okay, we're going to add a new skill. You got 5 points you can put on there. Okay. You got 5 skills. So let's increase the stats. Okay, we're going to per, perception. It represents the crewman's ability to spot and engage with enemy units. Yes. Yes. That's important. Okay. The other points we're going to do is we're going to Q, increase the stat. We're going to make sure that he has a good morale. Okay. Yep. We're going to make sure that Q, he has good grit, which is grit means physical toughness, representing the crewman's ability to resist and recover from injury. And that is E. This is what I'm talking about, Rusty. Like, which ski is it that does this? And we're going to increase the stat again. Knowledge represents practical battlefield knowledge and gives a small bonus to many different types of action. Sure, he seems like a smart guy. Yes. All right, I've got one more advanced point. So we're going to go ahead and let's select a skill. Oh. Let's select the skill. Oh, that's not what you do. Add new skill E, okay? Let's make him a fire spotter. Slightly increases the direct fire action. Cannot be used when the crewman is also serving as a gunner. So for instance, if he was a commander on a Czech 38, that wouldn't help because the commander is the gunner on a Czech 38. Okay, this is another thing that's pretty good. Driver direction increases the effect of driver action. Like if you say, "Oh, let me get the hell out of the way," you know. Let's go ahead and let's do a fire spotter to begin with. Okay, we'll do driver direction next time if the guy lives. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this skill. Yep. All right, he has no more points, so he's done. And normally you wouldn't do. I mean, if you go into a mission and you survive and you do really well, you'd get like maybe 3 points to add to somebody. Okay, 5 is like a big jump. This is just kind of like, okay, we're gonna find the guy who has the most experience and he's the commander, basically. Okay, so we're gonna cycle a crewman, Olaf Weith, who's a Gefreiter, and he's the gunner. He's an experienced gunner, trained gunner. We're gonna let's give him. He's got a perception of 1. Let's go ahead and increase his stat, and he's got 3 advance points to do. So let's give him a perception. Spot and engage with enemy units. Yeah, we don't want him to be like clueless. Okay, so we're going to increase that stat. Yep. And before we pick, well, we need to boost up his morale. We're not going to have some guy with a morale 1, cowering in a corner with he's running the gun. No, 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 no. You got to have your eye on the game there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and increase the stat, and we're going to go to morale, and we're going to increase that stat. Yes. All right, and we have 1 advance point left. Let's see what skills he has available. All right, so we're going to add a new skill. And as you notice, some of these skills are grayed out. It means you can't select them yet. So, for instance, if you want to be a crack shot, which is a great idea to be, you have to have a minimum of perception of 4. Okay, what's steady hands do? Reduces the movement penalty when the crewman is firing a machine gun. Well, he is running a coax. How old is this game? Maybe 7 years old. They specifically made it with dumbed down graphics to keep the size of it and everything. Don't judge the game by the crummy graphics. Okay, it is solid gameplay. Let's do steady hands because he's going to probably be firing the coax quite a bit. Okay, so let's add the skill. Yes. All right, so the gunner's done. All right, everybody else has just one skill point to begin with. Okay, so we're going to go to the next crewman. That's D, and that is this guy's mother did not love him. Dietlef Bench. Bench. What the bench? He's the loader. Load him up, bench. All right, so we're going to increase his stat. Actually, we're going to add a new skill on him. Okay, let's see what skills. We want to make sure there's a chance of getting a second round in each turn. So I want to make sure that we maximize that because that could come in handy. So we're going to add a new skill, and all we can do is steady hands. Okay, and I don't believe he fires the machine gun. The gunner fires the machine gun. The coax, anyways. So we're going to go escape. Actually, let's go back to add a new skill. What we're looking for, that's the skill we want. We want fast hands. Okay, fast hands slightly increases the chance of maintaining rate of fire when a crewman is reloading a gun. Okay, you need a minimum of grit 4. So let's bump up his grit. Okay, so we're going to go escape. We're going to, he has a grit 3. So we're going to go ahead and increase the stat. Even though he only has a morale of 1. You know, we're going to increase. Well, you know what? I'm going to be out of points, so I'm not going to be able to do that this game anyway. So let's just go ahead and bump his morale so he doesn't bail. All right, we're going to increase that stat. Yep. Next crew member, Herbert Seibert. Okay, he is the driver. Perception, morale, grit, knowledge. Let's see if he can do a driving. Can he gain anything with a driving skill in his newbiness? Steady hands is the only thing he can do. Okay, well that's fine. In which case we will go ahead and bump his perception up to bump it up higher. Okay, so we're going to increase his stat because that allows him to spot. Okay, so we're going to increase that stat. All right, and we will do the last guy, which is Felix Martinek, and he's the assistant driver, also the bow machine gunner. All right, and he's a guy that frequently spots. Oh, you know what? They don't have their own hatch. A Panzer III doesn't have its own hatch. The driver and co-driver and don't have hatches. Well, they can still look out of the front, and I'll show you what that affects things. It's basically distance they can spot things. We're going to bump his perception up as well. Okay, so we're going to do increase the stat. All right, so we're done with the drivers, with the crew members. Okay, that was section 2. If we go to 3, this is basically your combat journal. Well, nothing has happened. Okay, go to 4, and you have nobody in the hospital. Okay, so really, 1 is where you're at. Advanced mission, tab, start day. Here we go. All right, this is where you select your ammunition. Okay, so you basically have each one of these dots is 1 round for it, and you can select how much HE, how much AP you want. You can autofill recommended loadout. So we can go ahead and do that. You have a maximum of 2 APCR, so we're going to make sure that we take those. But let's see what they give you for recommended loadout. It's probably going to be 30% AP and the rest of it HE. So we're going to do autofill recommended loadout, and there it took the 2 APCRs. AP is yellow, high explosive is gray. You can actually take extra ammo. Okay, you see there's it says 0 out of 14. So you have a total of 99 rounds in the tank and 6 in the ready rack. The ready rack are racks that are basically in the turret that are really close, be able to load them really quickly and get a second shot off. Okay, so when you get ready to, if you don't have rounds in the ready rack and you get a rate of fire bonus, you can't throw another round in. Okay, if you do, you get another one. Now, my personal experience is what you want in the ready rack is armor piercing, because that's what's going to kill you. Generally, if you're fighting something that can use high explosive and you want to get another round, you usually have time to deal with it. So what I'm going to do is I want to select the ready rack. So let's see, select ammo type, toggle ready rack. All right, so we're going to toggle to the ready rack. Okay, we're going to select the ammo type. Okay, and then we're going to go to AP, and we're going to load. Okay, I have a mind to throw a couple APCRs in there, but let's not be hasty, you know. What happens is I may gain, if I don't use them, I may gain another 2. In the next game, you'll have 4. Okay, but they're rare, and they're only gonna, I mean, it's gonna be really limited what you can use them for. Okay, because this is they call this a short 50, but it's a 42 caliber 50 millimeter gun. The Sherman's gun is a 75 millimeter gun that's a caliber 40. So it's actually, the Sherman's gun is shorter than this gun, but somehow they like to call this a short 50. It's not really a short 50, it's the standard 50. Okay? So this vehicle is going to run into problems if you're running the T-34s, KVs. That's really the only 2 things it's going to have problems with. All the other Russian tanks, no problem penetrating it. Okay, so we're going to, I don't know what save loadout is, but I'm going to hit it because I like that setup. Okay, tab and continue. Okay, so here's our map. Here's our map. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but down here at the bottom, you got this squiggle. Okay, that's your current position, and the dotted red line is your area of control. Okay, so all that those 2 hexes are friendly lines. Everything else, and there's hexes there. You can make out what they are. You could actually run you could run your the mouse over it, and it'll tell you what it is. So here we're on flat terrain, friendly controlled. This one is a lake. I don't know why we control that lake. It doesn't matter if you can't go into it. You have a marsh here to the right. Doesn't this look familiar to the World War I game? Yeah, it's exactly the same type of thing. Okay, marsh is over here. Fields are over here. Capture value is 2, and it's enemy controlled. Capture value is 2 for the swamp, enemy controlled. And hills, enemy controlled. Capture value 3. Okay, so the point is when you capture this, you'll get 3 points, and so forth. Now, if you get to the end of the, and what you do is you go through this, through these, capture the zones. Your zone of control that you take over gets increased, and if you make it to the end of the map, then it'll scroll to another one until you run out of time. Okay, so here's the time up here. It's 4:15 in the morning. The game's going to end at 20:24. So at 8:24, it's going to end. Hey, it's summer. It's a long summer, right? So basically, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, and you can wait and stuff like that if you need to. So you're going to select a hex. Right now, I can move into the marsh, I can move into the fields, or I could move into the hills. Well, I don't want to move into the marsh, and this is, I want to move into the hills. Okay, it's worth more points, and it gives me more options of different places to move into. So here we have our little roundel of directions that you can go, telling you which hex you can go to. So we're going to select Q. That's going to tell you, now you select it, it's going to use up 45 minutes traveling there. And if you do a recon, the recon's going to take 10 minutes. Okay, so if you press recon, you can kind of do a check of what's there, but you're going to use up 10 minutes. Okay, I generally like to use recon because I'd like my freaking crew to be alive. Because you can also drop air support. Well, air support right now is not possible. Why is that? Because it's mist. Overcast, mist, mild gusty winds, dry ground. Okay, that's why you can't have air support. Otherwise, we could drop air support. So we're going to check if it's recon. If there's not much there, we'll just go in and we'll blow 10 minutes. But if there's something heavy, that's still the zone I'm going to want to move into. I can drop artillery support on them. Okay, so I think it's worth the 10 minutes at this point, right? So we've selected Q is where we're going to go. We're going to press R for recon. Okay, estimated enemy strength is 2. And estimated enemies, self-propelled anti-aircraft, and a gun. Self-propelled anti-aircraft gun. That could be really nasty. Okay, so I'm going to err on the side of caution, and we're going to request. Unit support's 100%. Let's do artillery. Okay, B. And now it's going to take 60 minutes to get there. All right, and then we're going to proceed. You enter the enemy-held zone. You find no enemy resistance. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Now, along the way, I don't know if you've noticed, you'll see that there are these little dots. That is extra point areas. So here is, you get an extra 4 victory point reward if you perform a reconnaissance on that. Over here, if you capture it, you get an extra 10 victory points. This is a fortification. We're going to avoid that. We didn't show up in a KV2. We're avoiding fortifications. All right. And this looks like it's a little village. Yep. And this one, rescue. An allied unit is in trouble. Go to the rescue and aid them from destruction. Well, that sounds fun. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to zip along this corridor, get to these hills, do a recon here, not capture that, then follow this around and rescue these guys, and then eventually push up here. And of course, depending on what we encounter, we might encounter, something like super nasty. That might not be the way to do. Okay? So again, what do we want to do? What's Q? This woods? It's forest. We just need to recon it. All right, well, let's do a recon. We can decide if we want to go in there or not. Or we just might go to these hills here that's friendly. Okay? Let's do a recon on that. Estimated strength in zone. I completed an objective. Where are my victory points listed? Certainly they're here somewhere. Not that it really matters that much. We're going to try all we can do, and that's all we're going to do. It's still 5:35 in the morning, There's only one unit in there. Advancing fire is something else you can do. So you use up some HE rounds, and you have a chance to some things be neutralized or be like incoherent. Is basically what it is. Which, oh, by the way, that's the same thing that happens with air support, or the same thing that happens with artillery. If you use air support and artillery and you get it, some units will appear and they'll start getting nailed before you show up. Okay, so it's kind of like some, what's the word I'm thinking of? Not neutralized, but suppressed. They're like being suppressed by doing that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and move in that. There's only a strength of 1. We're going to be bold. Panzers los, and we're going to proceed into that zone. No enemy resistance. Okay, they didn't know we were coming. Hey, we had a peace treaty with them. Oh, something happened. I'm not sure what happened. I must have missed something. Maybe they did a counterattack or something. All right, well, we can see what the, it's irrelevant. I was running my mouth and wasn't paying attention because I didn't think anything could happen. Okay, so, this is the battle display. I am the tank here in the middle. I am also in the zone with a Panzer IIIF. I'm in a Panzer IIIG. I have a Panzer IIIF with me, and I have a Panzer IIIG with me as well. I don't really command them, but they can do. I believe I can give them suggestions of things to do. Okay. Right now, and I probably should have changed that. I'm buttoned up, which means I can only see into these hexes that are around me. I am in wooden buildings and I'm hull down. Okay, so I'm in a hull down location. I'm hull down to this direction. See how there's a little arrow? So I'm hull down from any fire that's coming here from the front, because there's an HD and it has a an arrow towards the top. Okay, so we're hull down to the front, but we're buttoned up. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to select what these guys are going to do. So we're going to, the commander is going to, he's spot, but he's buttoned up. So we're going to open the hatch. And as soon as you open the hatch, you can tell the spotting range that he can do. Okay, so he's going to open the hatch. Okay, crew exposed. The gunner doesn't have a hatch. Okay, so he doesn't need to be on spot. What is the other commands? Select command A through D. Okay. Operate the gun. Probably not going to get I'm going to go ahead and have him operate the gun, even though we're not going to be able to do anything. Does this give him a hatch? I don't know how he can be crew. Oh yeah, they got those little side hatches. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay, loader. We're just going to have him load. Okay, reload. Driver is going to be ready to drive. The assistant driver is going to spot, but he doesn't see. I don't have an option to be crew exposed on him, so he's just going to spot, but he can only spot to the front. If that little guy moves forward, we'll be able to spot him in that one zone. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and move him to operate the MG. So if somebody moves forward, operate the MG. Now, command hotkeys 1 through O. Don't know what that means. Set default crewman menu. I know there is a way to give suggestions to the other guys in. Oh, they're all on fire at will. And I have communication to the battle group and headquarters. Okay. That's a new thing that they added, so I'm not familiar with it. Okay. So once you got what you want, you hit the space bar to what's the view mode mean? Enter view mode. Oh, okay, that's where you can look at different units. Do we know what this guy is? We don't. We don't have any clue. We just know there's something out there. Okay, exit the view mode. And we're going to end the phase. Okay, I spotted a BT5. Okay, BT5 in the woods. Okay, now this suggests this is my success of being able to move. It's the movement phase. I'm hull down. I don't want to frickin' move. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we've spotted that BT7. Let's start nailing that bastard. His gun is a little bit not as good as ours, but we got better armor than him. Okay. Oh, and he's moving. Soviet light tank moving, and he's also hull down. He's hull down to the front on the front arc. Well, we're going to start acquiring him. Okay, so the movement phase, I don't want to do any movement. Okay. Shooting phase. All right. So we have the commander that's spotting, the gunner's operating the gun, and we're reloading. Okay, that's all we can do. Select target. The turret is now facing the correct way, so we don't have to rotate it. It automatically selected the target, and it says to fire HE. I do not want to fire HE. I want to fire AP. We don't need to use APCR. APCR we're going to use against a very big vehicle at point blank range. Okay, we want to hit with that. Okay, and shooting phase. I don't want to attempt to immobilize. We're going to penetrate it. Hit F when we're ready. Okay, so here's the first chance on the initial round. It is only 0.5%. Okay, that's the initial round. So, and if I don't have much of a chance to hit him, he's really not going to have much of a chance to hit me because he's moving. So normally the base chance to hit him is at 70%. But I guess there's smoke in the way. Target's moving. It's a target in woods. It's small caliber, and the target's hull down. All right. So we're going to continue. We fired and we missed. Okay. Tab to continue. And once you got what you want, you can enter the you can end the phase. And this is the other tanks are firing. Okay, so they missed him as well. All right, and it fired back and apparently didn't hit anybody. If it knocks out one of the other tanks, you get notification that it knocks out the other tanks. All right, now we're going to do a couple of different things here. It fired. Is it still moving? It doesn't look like it's moving. Okay, so we've spotted him now and he stopped moving. So what we're going to do is, this is the command phase again. Now this sounds really clunky. It starts going really fast. Okay, so you come over here. The commander, what's the commander going to do? The commander is going to direct the fire. Okay, what happens if he goes and shuts the hatch? He can't see him, so we got to stay crew exposed. Okay, the gunner is going to operate the gun. The loader's going to reload. The driver, I'll leave him on drive, and I'll leave the assistant driver on operate MG. Normally, these two guys would have an open hatch, and it would help spot. And as soon as this happened, I would close their hatch now. So if it was like a Panzer IV, that's what I would do with them. A Sherman, anything where they have their own hatch, I would close the hatch. Okay? So right now, we only have one hatch open, and that's the commander's hatch that he's sticking his head out of. Oh, that's the Hoffman. So we'll see how good a fire director the Hoffman is. All right, so we're good with the phase. Okay, we do not want to move. Okay, because we're still hull down. All right, and here's the firing thing. Okay, we got an AP that we're going to fire again, and we're going to fire at the target. Now the chance is 17.1%. Now it's an acquired target, so we fired at it last turn. We got a bonus for that. It's still in the woods, and it's still a little guy. Okay? And he's still hull down. All right, so we're going to continue. And we missed. Okay? Now let's see how the other tanks in the platoon do. Well, we have to advance to it. So it didn't take one from the ready rack. Okay, we got 22 rounds of AP left, 5 still in the ready rack. The ready rack is good if you roll, and you roll really well on your chance to hit. Not only did you do something, but you loaded another round in. So there's a possibility of that happening. I could have actually gotten 2 shots off, possibly. Okay, that's the end of the phase. I was spotted. I guess I had not been spotted before. I don't know how this guy knew. You know, the hair on the back of your neck stood up. Like, oh shit, you've been spotted, right? All right. Is there anything we're going to change? No. Reload, drive, everything's the same. And the phase, we're not going to move. We're going to fire at the target. Now it's 21.5. Now it's dialed in. Not only is it, now we're dialed in on the range. We should have an advantage. We should be able to take that guy out. You know, he should have some sense and run, but, you know, communist. All right, we're going to continue. And we missed. Of course, we rolled a 95.2. Oh, that's the other thing I like about this game. It's percentile based. It makes sense. What are your chances to hit, you know? Except you're really rolling a 1,000-sided die, right? And the last one is the point digit. We're going to continue. Let's see how the other platoon does. The rest of the platoon. The 3F was destroyed by the BT-5. The BT-5 fired, hit the Panzer 3F, bam, done. Now he's no longer in our unit. That dumb bastard. Panzer 3F, by the way, probably has a 37mm gun in it at this point. They eventually changed it over, but there were some Fs that still had it. Okay, well, I guess, I don't know if he was hull down or not. Maybe not. Everything stays the same. And the phase. Oh, so now my commander is shaken from seeing that tank blowing up. Okay, he's shaken, and so's the gunner. The 2 most important people had a morale check problem. We improved both of their morales. Okay, so we did what we could, but stuff happens, man. All right, so we're going to end the phase. We're not going to move. We're going to fire at the target. 21.5. We should eventually get him. Continue. Yeah, continue. So I hit it. He was saved by hull down. Hoffman has the shakes. That's right. Shake and bake. So we hit it, but we hit the dirt right in front of him. Hull down basically means, well, you know this. You can't see the hull. You just have the turret showing. Okay. Continue for tab. And let's see what the other tanks do. Oh. Maybe he can't see him from his location. Because that's the other thing is that there's multiple locations within this hex. There's times where you can be in this hex and you can't see someone. And you just have to move. And you move within the hex. It doesn't look any different. But there's other, you know, this is the DBA shit. There's stuff going on there that you don't really know. Okay? It doesn't do too much of that. So it's not super annoying. You don't know these terms to explain them? Okay, cool. Well, you got to play the Russians then. No, you get a T-34, you can run the game with a T-34 in early war. That's why I wanted to do the Germans. So, besides, I want to do somebody that's on the advance. All right, well, it's the same thing. They're still shaking. Okay. CE means crew exposed, by the way. BU means buttoned up. So, yeah, that's right. The gunner and the loader in the Panzer III don't actually have their own hatch in the top of the tank. They have it like in the sides. You know what I'm talking about. You can see and you can like look out the side, you know. That way you could get more of a situational awareness, okay? So we're going to leave the commander. The problem with being crew exposed, if they get an artillery fire, rifle fire, anything like that that gets directed at the tank, you can suffer an injury. Okay, so you don't want to do it unless you want to, unless you have to. If we go buttoned up, all of a sudden, that tank is outside of viewing range. It's too far away. Like buttoned up is good for like the hex next to you, kind of thing. Okay, let's do it again. We're gonna end the phase because we're not going to do anything different. We're not going to move, and we're going to fire at that target. 21.5. We hit him. Okay. Notice you didn't hear a boom because that's on the next page if there is one. So we hit him with a 10.3. No penetration. I had a 91.7% chance of penetrating that tank. It does not have a lot of armor. It has like 20 millimeters of armor on the front and like 10 on the sides. All right? And still must have hit at an angle. Dink! Didn't penetrate. Okay? And it moves, but it doesn't move far enough. The BT-7 moves during its phase, but it doesn't move far enough to move into another hex. Okay? So now it's moving, and it is in brush. So it was in woods. So within this hex, which is like, well, right now it says that the range is, the range of this hex, for instance, one hex in front of them is 120 to 480 meters. There's some abstraction there. The hex it's at is 480 and 960 meters, so it's kind of far away. And then 3 hexes away is 960 to 1440 meters. All right, so now it's moving, so it's going to be harder to hit, but it's not facing towards me. Okay, so one of the things is I could try to move forward, right, to get a closer shot, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let him move. If he moves one more hex, we'll chase him, okay, which I shouldn't be able to catch him because a BT-7 is like super fast. It's super, super fast. Okay, we're still shook. So we're going to end the phase. We're not going to move, because as soon as I move, then I can't hit him, right? Interesting that it took ammo off the ready rack for the AP. I wonder why it happened. I would not have wanted to do that. Toggle ready rack use. Okay. If I use a ready rack, I have a 28.3% chance of getting a second shot. You see that? Without the ready rack, only a 3.3% chance of getting a second round before the enemy gets a turn again. If I use a ready rack, I have a 28.3% chance. All right, we'll try to get a second round. Okay. So we're going to fire at the target. 23.5, not bad. Okay, it should be easier to penetrate. It's not going to be hull down, and it's going to be a flank shot on it. All right. All right, let's see if we can get this guy. Missed, 81.4. Now, if I got a second shot, it would say down here that I got a second shot. Okay. All right, they're done. And the rest of the crew also shoots at him. Okay, what terrain is it in? Open ground. You know, I got half of mine, just let them leave the board. We're here to capture terrain, not necessarily take out vehicles. The last thing you want to do is move forward, lose your terrain, it turns around, shoots at you when you're in the open, and you got a problem, right? So we want to survive, right? We got a long war ahead of us. This short guy with a mustache, made a lot of enemies. We got a long war coming up, okay? So we're going to not do anything different. I probably should have reset the ready rack, but it's all right. End the phase. We're not going to move. Oh, I got to rotate the turret. The turret is out of arc. So Q. All right. That's going to be probably a little bit of a dink on it. And we're going to fire at the target. Oh, show target info. What's the target info? Okay. Yeah, BT-7. There you go. So the turret is a 1-1. The hull is a 2-1. BT-5 tank was designed to move quickly in order to exploit holes in enemy defensive lines. Let him go. Absolutely. We got to make it to Oktoberfest. Okay? And we're going to fire at the target. Now it's only 9.5%. Hey, I've made weirder shots than that. Okay? Well, not in this game, but and we're going to continue. And we missed. See how the rest of the crew does. Nothing. Okay? We're going to go ahead and have the gunner manage the ready rack. Because you could be in the middle of a game like this and other tanks can come on the board. While there's an engagement here, it is a live field. Guys can leave, other guys can come on. I don't think anybody just appears in front of you. Like, they got to come off the edges. Okay? So, yeah, we're going to manage the ready rack with him. That's all we're going to do. And here's where I get to adjust the ready rack. Fill ready rack with APG. Okay? So that's what he does. Okay, that's the end of this phase. We're not going to move. We're going to fire again, fire at the target. And we can use the rate of fire on the ready rack. Now it's up to 26.6. 75.5% chance. I don't know what the heck happened. I guess it was an acquired target. Maybe he stopped moving. I don't know. Got a hit. I know it's at long range, but it's the back end of a BT-7. All right? Penetrated. Yeah, you get a +1 for rear armor facing, -1 for its armor. Okay? The BT-5 was destroyed by you. Sorry if I said BT-7. BT-7 is just a better BT-5. And there we have it. So our combat happened here. It's now 6:41 in the morning, right? Our combat happened here in this woods. And our allies conquered all this stuff here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move through friendly. This path I was going to follow now became friendly. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go to E, which is towards the northeast. Takes 25 minutes. We're not going to do anything. Okay. I can also return to base if I wanted to. That's not how you do well. Just so you know, that's not how you beat the communists, is returning to base. All right. So we're going to proceed. You enter entered zone. As I've entered friendly zones, they captured even more. Okay? And then again, we're going to go E again because we want to recon this little dot here into the hills, and we're going to proceed again. Enter enemy. Okay? And looks like they did a small counterattack because remember they had like this area and they did a counterattack. Now, enter view mode. Exit view mode. What's 2? Okay, this is where I want to change their hatch situation. Okay, so when I show up in a battle, I want to make sure that the hatch is open. Everybody is crew exposed. And that improves your chances of when you show up at a battlefield, you can see guys immediately. Not like, well, there's something there, but we don't know what it is. And once you engage, then you close the hatches up. All right. All right. Let's go back and go to the menu 1. And you can also ask resupply. So if you get low on ammo, you can just stand your ground and say, hey, bring some ammo up, right? And then, of course, you're going to burn through some time. But it's either that or you go home back to base. That's worse, right? So we're going to go to 1. Oh, it's 3 where it's at on travel. Okay, our mission here is to recon this. Oh, no, it's captured. I thought this was a recon. Maybe they changed it. We got to capture. Um, yeah, well, it's all about survival, isn't it? So we're going to go D. Destination is enemy controlled. We're going to do a recon on it. Strength in zone 2. You know, I don't really want to use up the unit support and all that stuff. So let's go in. Let's go in. We're going to proceed. There may not be anybody there. There is today. Great, and we got guys in our face when we're buttoned up. So here's the problem that you have. So in this situation, you got somebody in our face. It's probably infantry. Okay, so we're going to shut the hatch, shut the hatch, shut the hatch. Now see, he's still got visibility to the front. All these can still see that zone. And the tank commander can see one zone all the way around, but the gunner can spot to the front or the front of the turret. So can the loader. They each have a periscope. And the driver and assistant driver, same thing on the hull. Okay? So they don't lose any visibility by being that way. But we've got a target in the front of us. We are in the woods. I don't know. There's one screen where you can see how many tanks that are in with you. I don't know where it is. I don't want to fuck something up and press something, but it'll tell you like how many other tanks are with you. And don't assume that it's just one other one. It might actually be two more. But like I said, I'm rusty. That's a pretty good thing to forget and not know where the hell it is compared to all the other things. Okay? So at this point, we're going to do the command phase. We just buttoned up. Okay, that's the only options that we have right now. We can't really, or can we? Or can we? Oh yeah, we can. Okay, so we're going to operate the MG. Okay, that's the hull machine gun. The driver is going to put him on drive in case, because there's a tiny chance to spot before they do their action. So if I spot something and it's something super nasty, we're going to get the fuck out of here, right? Or overrun it. That's another thing you can do. So since you don't know what this is, overrunning is when you have, and you usually use it against suppressed infantry, that's been taken a pasting. Overrunning is basically drive over them, but shooting machine guns along the way. You can do overrunning with cannon fire as well, but it's usually a machine gun tactic. You don't. And as it goes late in the war, it's more and more dangerous because if guys have like Panzerfaust or something like that, you don't want to do that late in the war with like really nasty equipment that people have. But it is a tactic, and there is a time and place to do it. Okay. So driver's is gonna be on call to drive at a moment's notice. Okay. Loader, what can the loader do? Loader can well, he can't fire small arms because he's buttoned up, right? So he's got his MP40 that's there, but he's not. But he's got to be unbuttoned. We're not going to do that, right? So we're just going to hunker down. That's a new thing they added. They did not have hunker down. I'm going to put it on the spot. We have lots of guys that have a chance to spot him. Gunner. I'm going to say operate gun. I would normally say operate the coax, but we don't know for a fact that is in fact infantry. Because if it's actually, I'm going to put him on reload just to be safe. If it is in fact a gun, a vehicle, we're going to want to make sure that we had it on the gun. Now the machine gun can take out trucks. And if it has trucks, we're not in that much of a hurry to knock it out. And then the commander, even though we're buttoned up, we're going to... Oh, this is where he could command the battle group. Issue a command to your battle group. Will not change the default command for the combat day. Okay. That's advanced stuff. Okay, this is just, we're in training camp here. First aid, swap position. That's if, somebody's knocked out and you need to move into the position. Small arms, hunker down, spot. I think spot's probably the most important. The other thing you could possibly do is direct movement. Is make sure that if something's nasty there, the driver decides to and moves, he can actually move and put some distance between him and them. The other problem is if you decide to move and you're in this woods, you could move, not move far enough to make it to another hex, but now you're in worse terrain than the woods. So that is something you need to take into effect. It's not like you're automatically going to move a hex. And moving forward is more useful than moving backwards. So your odds of gaining a new hex, and it takes into effect a lot of things, the speed of the vehicle, that kind of stuff. All right, so we're going to spot with a commander, operate the gun with a gunner. Loader's going to reload just in case. Driver's going to drive at a moment's notice, and the assistant driver is going to operate the bow machine gun. Okay, and we're going to end the phase. And you've spotted enemy riflemen in a village, in wooden buildings, which give you minus 30 terrain modifier. Okay, so now I got my orders, what I'm going to do. Do I want to... So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to want to reverse. Okay, because I don't want to be next to infantry that could come and, and crawl over the tank. Okay, that's bad news. Right? If you're going to engage infantry, they need to be at 2 and 3 hexes away, not at 1. Okay? So the... Oh, actually, I was trying to move the cursor, and I pressed the back thing, which actually told my guy to move backwards, which is what I would have wanted to do with him. So sorry about that. I fumbled it. But I fumbled and did exactly, and I didn't move far enough to each one. I'm wondering if I can adjust the message speed. Now, let me not screw it up. We can do that on the next one. So we moved, and we moved far enough to move, and what it was is now I'm in open ground instead of woods. Okay, so I can operate the gun. Okay, I need to select the ammo. I move it to HE. Okay, and this is where I can also select the bow machine gun. So we're going to let the bow machine gun have it. Okay, and there's a 0.6% chance of getting a critical, a 4.5% chance of getting regular effect on them, and a partial effect at 5.6. And I basically took a 23.7% loss because I'm moving. But I do not want to be right next to him. Because what is it? It's about survival. And you don't want to be the one guy who has a tank killed by Soviet infantry on the first day of Barbarossa. Come on, All right, so we're going to tab continue. No effect. And we're going to select the other, which we're going to fire HE, 50 millimeter HE. We're going to fire at that target. All right, it's a little bit more effective. So we're going to fire it. And you can't get rate of fire because it's nothing in the ready rack. Okay, and we missed. Now, let's see how the other tanks do. I was spotted by the rifleman. Okay, and the rifleman, you hear that? Decided to shoot some rifles at you. All right, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get a Coke. Be right back. Sorry, I meant Coke Zero. I never have regular Coke. That's a good way to get a headache and fall asleep. Both at the same time. Coke Zero. Well, here's the bad thing about it. It's already 8:25. Now, I'm not really on a time schedule, but like I said, it takes a while. Hopefully this is helpful for you to get your feet wet with it. It's a great game. It's a great game. I thought about doing this with Mitch. Maybe we should do that. Do a video, have Mitch come over one time and let him run a tank. Or we can talk about it. You can command by committee. It's a great game. So okay, so now we have another turn. We have another phase. Um, the commander, we want to put some distance in between the riflemen. Okay, they could have an anti-tank rifle or something like that and make our life miserable. So I'm going to move the commander's orders to direct movement. The gunner is going to switch to let's operate the coax machine gun, okay? Because it's not really limited by ammo. The loader, what the hell can the loader do? We'll just leave him on. We'll leave him on spot. Look out your periscope, damn it. We're gonna. The driver is gonna drive. Is there another option for driving? Drive into terrain. That's new. They added that. Withdraw. No, that may mean come off the board. We'd know. We're gonna nail these fuckers. Okay. We'll run away from tanks, but infantry, we're gonna pace some sons of bitches. The Mitch idea sounds fun too. Yeah. So, we'll have him be in an Italian tank. This is what we used to do. We used to, when we played Patton's Best, one guy would play the crew, and the other guy would roll all the stuff for the enemy. So you get to see, the coolest stuff could happen. But if nobody's watching it, it's kind of wasted. You know. All right. An assistant driver is going to operate the MG. All right, we're good to go on that. Yeah, whoa. End the phase. Now here's the part where I can tell the driver what to do, which is where I made the screw up. I can move forward, reverse, pivot, haul, overrun, attack. We don't want to do that. They're in a village. If they were in the open and they were like partially damaged, overrun the hell out of them. Just get rid of them, right? Reposition so you can stay in the hex and move in something different. I want to reverse. Okay, so S was reverse. And we successfully reversed. Now, there's sometimes where you reverse and you lose line of sight with a guy because you move and there's, intervening terrain and stuff like that, you know. So there's some DBA-ness in it. What do we move? We moved into broken ground. We don't care. All right. Now, the fact that we moved that distance, the whole machine gun's not going to be useful. The coax, I believe, can go out to 2 hexes, but the bow machine gun cannot because it's lower to the ground. I believe that's what the logic is. Okay, so we're going to, yeah, see, I can fire the coax machine gun. That's CMG. There's no crewman operating the weapon because the gunner's either got to be on the machine gun or he's got to be on the actual gun. Even though it's like a matter of like you should be able to shoot them both at the same time, but okay, it's 5 firepower. You have a 15% chance of getting a rate of fire. So we're going to fire. Fire at target. There we go. That's a pretty decent chance to hit. 18.9 is the standard chance to hit for getting full strength. And we're going to continue. No effect. Boy, this Hoffman's not that lucky. Well, look, he's survived so far. Okay, and there's nothing else that can fire, so the phase is done. Oh, the other tank got 5 firepower on them, and they pinned them. Okay, so if they were at point blank range and they were pinned and they were in not a wooden building, I'd overrun them. Especially if they're like in the open and they're pinned down, overrun the hell out of them. Overrun the hell out of them. You put everybody that can fire a machine gun to fire a machine gun and overrun them. That's what you would do. And you get a shitload of firepower. The firepower numbers kind of remind me of like advanced squad leader. Okay. All right. So the next phase. I'm not going to direct movement. We're going to direct fire at this point. So we're going to go up to direct fire. We're going to operate the machine gun. I don't want to use HE. Okay. Loader spot. Driver drive. We'll leave him on operate machine gun. End the phase. Not going to move. Okay, it's an acquired target, ready to fire. We're going to fire at the target. Okay, now your full chance of getting a hit, 47%. and we're not expending any ammunition. Because the HE you need for, like, if you see like an anti-tank gun that's like maybe not facing towards you or something like that. If an anti-tank gun's facing towards you, like, you need to move. Don't get in a duel with an anti-tank gun. It's like if you're a sailing ship, don't get into a duel with a fort, right? Like, go find somewhere else to go. All right. Here we go. Full effect. I almost got a critical. 7.4. Let's see what happens to him. Oh, it combines everybody's fire. They were destroyed. Okay? I got, I think, 7 firepower, and the other guy got 10. Okay, victory. Nobody else left in that zone. Okay, so we captured it. Okay, here's the battle group. So it was 3 tanks. We had a 3G that I'm in, another 3G commanded by Vent, and then we had a 3F. The 3F's gone. So it was a platoon of 3 tanks. Now it's only Hoffman and Vent. Okay? Oh, and this is where I can change your command. Fire at will, attack my target, hold fire on my mark. They're on fire at will. Okay? I don't want to hold them back. Vent sounds like a smart guy. We'll let him do his thing. Okay? Alright, now we're here again. You see this fortress? I ain't going there. Fuck that shit. Okay, I also don't want to really go through these villages because tanks really need to avoid that kind of stuff. So I'm going to double back to these hills, go around this way. Okay? Because it's about survival. So we're going to go A. It's going to take 45 minutes. Now it's 8:52 in the morning, and we're going to proceed. Okay, and they captured some more stuff. So had I known that, I would have been fine going through the villages. I assumed that the village was enemy controlled at that time. Yeah. And you could have waited and it didn't, they captured it. All right, so now we're going to go to Q. I'm going to do a recon because I'd like to know what the heck's there. Enemy strength in the zone is 2, and it's open ground. Let's make sure that the crew is in unbutton mode, that that's stuck. Okay, so we're going to go 1. Nope. 2. Okay, we're going to... Maybe I have to do that every time. That seems weird that I would do that. Clear default. Let's... There we go. Everybody's crew exposed. All right. It's a great game. It's a great freaking game. I mean, it's a great game if all you could do is play Barbarossa. And I mean, shit, you can play the Japanese, you can do all kinds of stuff. And it looks a hell of a lot better than Catan. Estimated enemies infantry squad. So that could be wrong as well. So let's drop some artillery support on their happy asses. Okay? Let's do B. I have a 75% chance of doing that. And I'm going to drop advancing fire as well. Okay? We want to save our guys. I don't know how the hell they got up there. There should be like recon troops or something like that. But they got over there. Okay? And now we're going to proceed. Advancing fire. I find no resistance. They ran away. Okay. So somehow these guys... Maybe I didn't get the points for these guys. Because now I can't save them. Like all the front lines moved and it basically took over the zone they're in. I'm not sure if I basically got credit for that or I don't get credit for it because everybody else did it. Well, whatever. Now there's a rescue here. Maybe it's the same guys. They were cut off here and then they fell back here to get cut off. All right, regardless, we're going to move forward. It's friendly zone. We're going to proceed. Nothing changed. All right. Let me make sure that we're still in the button up phase. Yeah, we're still crew exposed. Okay, cool. We're gonna go to in direction E. 35 minutes. I'm gonna do a recon. Estimated strength in zone 3. Estimated infantry squad. Okay. Well, we're going to drop artillery support on them again and do advancing fire. Because you can get like 6 freaking guys in the zone, and that's a lot to deal with. Okay? And proceed. Fired total of 4 HE rounds, and there is combat. And there. Oh, there's artillery support request. It came in. It's 105s. Yeah, the message delay is really fast. I don't want to go and change it now and somehow get out of this game. Okay? So, my apologies. So they're behind us. Lovely. Okay? We're in broken ground. So my initial reaction is turn and face them. Because I'd hate for it to be a gun and I have my ass to him. Okay? So I don't give a shit about spotting right now. We need help moving. Actually, that's not true. Well, let's adjust this down. We're going to go here. We're going to button up. We're going to go here. We're going to button up. Okay, the driver is going to drive. The assistant driver is going to operate the machine gun. The gunner is going to... No, the loader is going to reload. The gunner is going to operate the gun. And the commander is going to... I'm going to button him up. If that's infantry, I don't want to be... I don't want to have my head out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is close range. What are his options? Direct movement. Well, we're not really moving. We're going to rotate. It should be successful. We're going to... we're going to have him spot a heavy SMG squad. Well, I'm glad I buttoned up. Okay? What terrain are they in? They're in open ground? Alright. Now, this is where I can pivot the hull. So I'm going to pivot. Pivot. See how he rotated all the way around? Like it looked like I didn't move. The enemies moved. So you always have your front towards the top of the screen. So we've rotated. Now he's in front of us. Okay? And we're going to... And by the way, here's your chances of success. Normally, moving forward, 45% chance. Reverse, 15% chance. That's your chance of moving and moving to another hex. Okay, your chances of bogging also are more doing reverse. Pivoting is 100%. There's actually a chance of bogging on a pivot. I didn't realize that. And you have a 13% chance of getting hull down, I think, if you want it, if you're looking for it. And obviously it'll depend on what terrain you're in. This happens to be broken ground. Okay, so here we are. We have our enemy infantry to the front of us. We're done at the phase. Let's start firing at this guy. Okay, so we have high explosive. We're going to fire at that target. And that's actually a pretty good chance of hitting him. Okay, so we're going to continue. And we got a partial hit with 3 firepower. Okay, now this is where I think you got to be careful. Don't hit tab, because if I hit tab to continue, I bypass the chance of any of the other weapons firing. I need to come up here and toggle the other weapons. I could have that wrong. I do. Okay, I still need to continue. Tab to continue. All right, now I select the other weapons. I can't do the coax because he's firing the cannon, not the coax. But here's the bow machine gun. I have a chance of putting an extra 3 firepower on him. So we're going to fire at the target. And he has a pretty decent chance of doing something. gets full effect 3 firepower. So I forget what the partial thing is. I think it gave it 3 plus 3 for this. So I've contributed 6 attack to it. Okay. Now it looks like the other guy didn't do anything, and it was destroyed because we rolled really well. Okay. That's it. That's all that was in the zone. Knocked him out. Additional artillery was available to you from command. So I was at 75%. Now I'm at 85. All right. It is 12:14. So we've been at this for about 5 hours. All right. And it's still misty, overcast, and the Luftwaffe is off doing somewhere else because it's misty here. All right. So this is the rescue. All right. So we're going to do Q. I'm going to do recon. Estimated strength 6. Okay. We're going in with everything. All right. So we're going to request. We're going to do advancing fire. We're going to request artillery support. We're going to request unit support. Unit support meaning there's other guys you can throw in like tank destroyers and infantry or what have you. I'm worried about vehicles. I'm not worried about infantry. Okay? Let's make sure that we are with 6 units. I don't know that I want to be unbuttoned. We're buttoned up. Okay? Notice he's got a minus 1%. He's tired. Okay? That happens throughout the day. Okay? He's bench is tired. Bench wants to be benched. Okay, so we got advancing fire, artillery support requested, and unit support requested. And it should get unit support. Okay? And I'm going to proceed. Now, here's where I get to choose what my unit support is going to be. Okay, I could have armored, and it could be one of those tanks there. Okay, artillery. I don't get to pick what it is. It's just which it could be one of those. Recon, anti-infantry, anti-armor. That's my choices. So what I'm worried about is freaking armor. Okay, and hopefully you don't get like an anti-tank rifle team because that's a lot less powerful than me. Or a PaK 35, 36, that's a 37 millimeter gun. That's less powerful. Everything else is going to be more powerful. Panzerjäger 1 has about the same firepower as the 50 as far as anti-armor. So I'm going to go anti-armor. Okay. Proceed with selected request. I'm going to hit tab. I fired 3 HE. And I got a friendly Panzer II. Well, that's useless. I said anti-armor. And there's a PT-5 facing the wrong way. 75 millimeter gun. Artillery. Anti-armor. Oh, it's moving way too fast. Okay, so there's a flak here. There's an 88. You know what an 88 is. Okay? There's an 88 here helping. And it's a BT-7 facing the wrong fucking way. I'm feeling pretty good. What kind of terrain are we in? Brush, and we'll hold down to the front, and there's a Panzer IIF right next to him. All right, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to direct fire. Okay? So we're going to direct fire. I'm fine engaging at him at this distance. Okay? The gunner is going to operate the gun. The loader is going to reload. The driver, there's no point in spotting. We'll leave him on drive. And the assistant driver, we're going to leave him on operate the MG. Okay, that's his fighting position. Okay, end the phase. All right, I don't want to pivot the hull or nothing. We want to operate the gun. Okay, so that's the movement phase. We're not going to do anything here. All right, shooting phase. We're going to we're going to have to rotate the turret ever so slightly. Okay? And no, we do not want to use APCR. That would be that would be extremely wasteful. Use APCR against a really lightly armored tank at long range. That's a bad idea. Oh shit, I forgot to unbutton my tank commander. Oh well. Shit happens. Okay? I think you got a little bit better chance of getting a hit on there. Okay, we're going to fire at target. Yeah, it's a spotting round basically, so it's only a 0.5% chance. Okay? So we're going to continue. Now sometimes you can miss and get ready to fire and put another round in. All right? Because your chance of hitting is 5%, but your chance of getting a rate of fire might be 15, 20. So you could roll like a 13, miss them, put another round in. That second round has, instead of a 0.5% chance to hit, maybe a 22, and actually get a hit on the second one. Okay? All during this phase that's going on. And obviously a lot of it affects on how fast your gun fires. This 50 millimeter, it fires pretty fast. All right? We're going to continue and see how everybody else did. Oh, the Panzer II destroyed him for a side shot. Okay, I completed the objective. All right, and because I captured something in that last zone, it spits me into a new map. So now this is the second map. All right, and it's 1316. And by the way, there's a yellow bar. See how it's light and it's dark? This is basically your progression of throughout the day. So we're about halfway through the day. All right. What do we got here? We got a recon. We need to recon this. We need to rescue another thing. Oh, I wonder if that rescue was the Panzer. That's what it was. The rescue was the Panzer II. So we showed up, and the Panzer II's like, I don't need you fucking guys. Watch this. Bam! He really didn't need to be rescued. He just wanted to show off, shooting up a BT-5 all by himself. I mean, a Panzer II is a pretty weak tank, but it's better than a BT-5. A 2F's got decent. A Panzer 2F doesn't have that less. It probably has the same armor of like a Panzer 3F. It's not bad. Not bad for a light tank, anyways. All right, so I think what we're going to do is, what do we have here? Fields. We got to cross a bloody river, don't we? Well, there's Hoffman always said. I read Hoffman's memoirs, and Hoffman always said that it's about survival. So I'm going to move between these two zones. I'm more interested in moving this one because I've got more move options. I don't want to cross any rivers if I don't have to. Okay. So we're going to go towards Q, and we're going to it's a river crossing, and we're going to do a recon. And the recon, basically what it's telling me is, maybe I need to find another way to go, or maybe let me drop some extra stuff on them. Now, my artillery support dropped from 75% to 70. Unit support dropped from 100 to 90. So we want to make sure we're mindful of just not throwing that away whenever we want. All right. So we're going to split the difference here. Let's not use those units, but let's hold on a second. What is the situation here on the hatches? They're buttoned up. So let's unbutton. Okay. Crazy that I gotta do that every time. Maybe there's an option for that. Actually, you know what? I'd rather the default be buttoned up, and then I have to tell them to, hey, open your freaking hatch before they just show up and get hosed. Right? We're gonna use some advancing fire because we got lots of high explosive left. Okay? And we're not gonna use any unit support, and we're gonna proceed. Here we go. Takes you 20 minutes to find a safe place to cross. Fired 4 rounds of HE. And I have been ambushed. Okay, what kind of terrain are we in? Brush. And they're over here. Alright. I don't like that. Remember, I'm going to do orders, and then after I do orders, there's a chance of spotting things. So we're going to leave the commander on spot. The gunner needs to be on operate the gun. The loader needs to be on reload. We're going to go ahead and button these guys up. I believe H does it. Yep. because it could be an artillery piece. Fires HE and knocks out one of the crew members, right? They take all this stuff into consideration. Don't be dissuaded by the graphics looking like a child made it. There's a lot of depth to this game. A lot. They just decided, like, okay, well, if we put a lot of effort into the graphics, well, I don't know, I'm speaking for them, but if they put a lot of effort in the graphics, maybe they never publish the game. Or maybe it costs too much. Or maybe it's glitchy. Or, driver, the dude's going to rotate, okay? We're going to rotate, we're going to face that Joker. Um, drive. Assistant driver is going to, well, he's only going to be able to spot at one. We're gonna leave him on pass ammo up to gonna increasing chance of ready to fire. The ready rack is not used. Okay, so if you use pass ammo, you're not using the ready rack. To for it to have any we'll leave it on operate MG. Okay, and we're actually going to um, let's have him direct fire. Maybe there's a chance we get one round off. Okay, here we go. Here's the end of the phase. Anti-tank rifle team. All right. Well, it's at long range. I don't really have anything to worry about. I'm not saying he can't kill me. Look, he could shoot, hit the freaking commander, and the commander's dead. Right? It is 14.5 millimeter. It's one hell of a sniper gun. All right. So we're going to pivot the hull. All right. That's where we're at. We're not going to close. If we close, we get a chance for the anti-tank gun to do something. All right. I can't button up just yet. Okay, because it's not the turn to do that. That's just a movement phase. Okay, shooting phase. I'm going to operate the gun, and we're going to not fire armor piercing. You can hurt infantry with armor piercing, but you have to hit the guy. You have to hit the guy directly. All right. Um, high explosive, reload, drive, operate. Okay, we're good. We're going to fire at the target. Actually, a lot better chance of hitting than I would have thought. So I take a 35 loss because I pivoted. But I didn't know what it was. It could have been a tank. A 45 millimeter armed tank having the flank to it makes a big difference between living or not. So I want to put the front to the enemy. If he wasn't spotted, that'd be different. If I spotted him, if it was just an anti-tank rifle, it might be a little different. Okay, let's give him a shot. I got a hit and it gained me 6 firepower. That's can't hope for better than that. Let's see how the other tank does. I guess you can't see him. No effect. I rolled terrible. 92.3. Okay. And he hit me with an anti-tank rifle. Oh my God. Impossible shot. Well, we're going to button up right now. Okay? So the very first thing is button your ass up. I don't care if he's out of line of fire. I don't know if I can still see him or not, but I don't want to take the chance. We'll find out if we can, even though he's spotted, but he's out of the range of the periscopes, if I can still shoot at him. It's worth it, okay? It just told me it was an impossible shot for the front, so if that doesn't work, then we'll unbutton next turn and do our thing. Okay, operate gun, reload, drive, operate machine gun. I like that. Okay, end phase. No movement. We're going to, yeah. So it doesn't allow me to spot new targets, but ones that are seen are still seen. Okay, high explosives on there. We're going to fire at the target, and that's a decent chance of hitting. Okay, we're going to continue. Tap. We got a hit with 6 firepower. We're going to continue. 6 firepower on him. No effect. All right. Tab continue. I'm going to stay buttoned up. I don't want to take a 14.5 to the head. All right. So nothing changes. This is what I'm talking about. Like, not every turn is slow, especially once you like get familiar with it. Okay, movement phase, we're not going to move. Moving forward is just going to give a chance for the anti-tank gun to actually possibly do something to you. Like, nope, we're not here to fight fair. We're here to live. Okay, so we're going to fire at the target. Same thing. I missed this time. Okay. Oh, looks like I got another round. No. Sorry, I looked at that wrong. I'm gonna stay buttoned up. I don't give a shit. The round is hitting. It's just not getting good effect. Oh, it didn't last that last time, but it hit the previous 2 times. Okay. Nothing changes. Not moving. Fire. The 50 has broken down. It may not be used again for the rest of the day. So I got a malfunction on the 50 millimeter gun. That's bad. That's really bad. That's going to send us back to base when we're done with this. Okay? All right, so we're going to tab to continue. We did get a partial hit with a firepower. Three firepower on him. It was destroyed when it got less. Okay. No infantry remains. I'm within 2 zones of capturing. I'm not moving forward with a freaking gun. Without a gun. Okay? So I have a knocked out. You can see here it's in red. It's a knocked out 50 millimeter gun. Not interested. Okay, so we're going to hit I, return to base. Yep. I return to the base. Combat day has ended. Okay, here's what we did. We fought 5 engagements, captured 7 zones, 6 gun hits, 2 vehicles destroyed, 3 infantry destroyed. Took out a pair of BT-5s, a rifleman's SMG squad, AT rifle team. Pretty low results, okay? But look, our gun was freaking out. Like, what do you want me to freaking do? You know, you don't show up to, to do that. It's about surviving, okay? 88 points, victory points gained. Okay? Tab continue. And here's basically what happened. The 50 is repaired. The commander did not gain any extra experience. The gunner went up 1 in level. The loader went up 2 in levels. The driver went up in 2 level. The assistant driver went up 2 in level. Okay? Continue. Okay, day number 2. We're doing one more. Because now we got the hang of it. Right? And now we get to do some experience. Alright? It's a pretty freaking cool game. It was worth $10 just for you to watch me play it. Oh, man. All right. So, we don't want to press 1 and proceed. Okay? We want to go to 2. Here's the vehicle crew. Here's where we get to assign our skills. All right? All right. The gunner. We're going to use highlighted keys to navigate the interface. Okay. Second position. Okay, W. Oh. Oh, E is what I need to do. The crewman member. Yeah, it's a great deal. Good. I don't want to be known for leading people astray. All right. We have 1 point. Let's see if there's any new skills that we can add right now, because now we have full 3s. We have 3 perception, 3 morale, 3 grit, 3 knowledge. This is the gunner, okay? So let's see what new skills are available. Unsticky situation. Improves chance when crewman attempts to unjam a weapon. Okay. What about light 'em up? Flamethrower attacks by this crewman. Okay. We don't have a flamethrower. Okay. What we want to do is we're going to get stuff like target tracker. What's that give me? I need to have perception 6. What about sniper? Perception 7. Target focus, perception 6. Knows the weak spot, knowledge 5. The penetrator, knowledge 8. Okay, time on target, knowledge 7. Okay, so this guy wants knowledge and perception. Okay, okay, fair enough. So we're going to go escape. We're going to bump up either perception or knowledge up. Let's bump up perception. Okay, so we're going to increase stat. We're fine with it being on that. Select the stat and increase it with an E. Increase perception by 2. Yes, I like that it actually asks you um, to do that as well. Okay, proceed. Yes. All right. So that's Vife. All right, we're going to exit the menu. Going to go to the next crew member. Bench. Okay, who's no longer tired. Okay, and he is the loader. So we're going to select his position. Let's see what new skills he can get. Steady hands. What's steady hands do? Reduces movement penalty when crewman is firing a machine gun. Well, he doesn't have a machine gun to fire. What we want to do with him is, what's lightning hands? Maintain rate of fire. That's what we want. When reloading a gun, grit is 6. All right, this guy's going to get grit. Give him the grits. This guy likes grits. Escape. We're going to increase the stat, and we're going to come down to grit, and I think we got to increase that to 6. So 5 is a start. So increase the stat. Yep. All right. He got 2 advanced points, so he still has 1. So let's see if there's any skills that gains me. Fast hands. Slightly increases maintaining rate of fire when crewman is reloading a gun. There we go. That's what we want. Ooh, we got steady burst fire. That's for machine guns. Gymnast, chance of getting out of a tank that's burning. Fighting spirit, chance the crewman breaks out of the field hospital and turns to duty before the minimum period is up. Well, he's got to get wounded first. Gunslinger, small arms attacks by this crewman are more effective, including covering fire during bailout. Yeah, because when you bail out, guys that successfully bailed out can actually provide covering fire to have the other guys bail out, with their machine pistols and stuff. There's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of depth to it. Okay, and it's not difficult because once you find out at what point during the phase you can do certain actions, the rest of it's common sense, Like, you can kind of visualize what you need to do. So, of all these things, we like fast hands. Fast hand, jazz hands, okay? All right, so we're going to go escape. We're going to add a new skill, which is E. We're going to go over down here to fast hands, and we're going to select that skill. Yes. So now we got bench. Good Lord. Okay. Escape. Next one is a driver who gained 2 skills. Okay, so we're going to go to the crewman menu for him. He's an experienced driver. Can he gain anything at this point right now? Steady hands. That's not going to be useful for it. Lead foot. I like it already. Okay. Knowledge 5. Okay, increases the chances of an extra move when driving a fast tank or fast wheeled vehicle. Okay, well, it's not a fast vehicle. I think it's just a standard one. What about lightning shifter? Greatly increases chance of a forward move or backward action. Knowledge 6. Okay, so he needs to have knowledge. Okay, because that's what we want him to do. Okay, so we need to go to I believe it's Q. Increase the stat. Knowledge. I was really rusty the first, and that's perfect because that's the skill that has 1 on it anyways. So we're going to go ahead and increase that. Yep. All right, let's see. Can we get any new skills with that? Train gunner. We got quick shifter. Okay, so that slightly increases chance for successful move or backward action. To get a lightning shifter, you have to have quick shifter first. It replaces it. Okay, so we're moving in the correct direction, right? So we're going to go ahead and add that skill. Yep. All right, now we got a quick shifting Cybert. Okay, and escape. And the assistant driver is going to we're going to look at his skill. What can he do at this point? Well, he has a grit of 1. That's probably the very first thing is we're going to bounce that up to a grit. But let's see, can he do anything? Train gunner, train driver. So basically, if he has to move into the driver's position, he's not going to take a penalty for being the driver. That's what that does. Unsticky situation, improves chance to unjam a weapon, light him up. Let's turn him. Let's back out, and we're going to add a grit first. Okay, so let's go ahead and Q, go to grit, and E. Yes. All right, now let's see what skills we can add with that. Did that gain anything? Train gunner, train driver, steady hands on sticky situation. Steady hands reduces movement penalty when crewman is firing a machine gun. Well, he is a machine gunner. Let's give him that. Okay? Yeah. Now we've set up all our crews. Okay? Let's go to 3. This is the journal basically. Oh, Trap. Trap was a Panzer IIIF from our squad, commanded by Trap, was knocked out. So Trap was fell for the trap. Trap, Vence, and Hoffman. The 3 amigos. All right. 4 is nobody in the hospital. 2 is this. 1. I think we're ready to proceed to the next day. The second day of Barbarossa, the 23rd. Today's mission, Spearhead. You must pierce the enemy lines, driving forward as far as possible before the end of the day. Well, I will, unless my freaking gun's broken, right? Air support, 80%. Artillery support, 80. Unit support, 100%. Okay, let's go to 2. Vehicle crew, nothing new there. 4. Okay, we're going to start the new day. All right, this is where you can select your ammo. So now I got 4 APCR that I can choose from. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to load. Oh, I gained an extra 4 APCR, so now I got 6. Let's add 1, 2, 3, 4 more AP, and then HE. We're going to add the rest. Well, why so much HE? Because HE is what you do with that suppressive fire that you show up in. So you really need that much in there. Okay. So now we got 6 rounds of APCR, and we're not telling upper command that we've got that many rounds. Okay, because then they'll want to divvy it to somebody else. Okay, tab, accept and continue. Okay, sun rises at 4 o'clock. It takes 35 minutes to get ready. I'm a quick reader. I should have changed the menu. Let's see if I can do that now. Okay. Unit gallery, messages, campaign settings. Tab to cycle. Font size, full screen, music, sound effects, music volume, message pause. Long, very long, extra long, good lord, short, normal. Let's go to long, okay? And if we don't like it, we can change it to a little bit longer, all right? Let's get back to the game by hitting escape. Escape, close the menu. It's really friendly. It's really friendly. Now, Barbarossa Day 2, clear skies. You know, we can have Stukas and shit drop on people. Well, we gotta save that stuff in case we encounter a tank of unusual size. A Taos tank of unusual size. or a T-34. T-34 is on a, well, you know, you think a T-34 is a medium tank. It's bigger than a Panzer IV. It's a few tons heavier than Panzer IV. So I believe that's correct. The one thing that's amazing about a T-34 is it has 500 horsepower. I think that's like double the horsepower that a Panzer has. That 500 horsepower is a lot of horsepower for a tank. Okay, so we're stuck here, here in the bottom, and I don't like this. We got this bloody river in front of us. Looks like there's some fords over here, but our objectives are: we need to capture this one for 10 points. We need to a convoy attack. Reward 3 victory points plus 4 per truck destroyed. Destroy the enemy supply convoy in this zone before it moves on. Yeah, that is kind of a timely thing. And then up here we have, I don't, this is a little distracting that it does this because it makes it look like there's like a pocket of the enemy, but they just decided to put this symbol around a lake, even though you can't fight in the lake, but it's not like the lake is enemy controlled. The only person that controls the lake is Mother Nature, right? And we got a village up here that's a recon mission, and up here, capture that one. So we're going to cross here in this fields, capture this, and then double back and do the convoy. Well, you know what? Let's do the convoy before it disappears. Because this front line is going to start moving pretty fast at this time of the war. I mean, it's like, I may not advance, but, you know, the rest of the regiment or the division is going to be taking ground. So we're going to cross this, okay? Enemy controlled capture value 1, and speed is of the essence. So we're going to shoot up that convoy. I'm going to go E. I can't not do a recon, okay? It's only going to cost me 10 minutes. If the 10 minutes that I waste by doing a recon means I don't shoot up a bunch of trucks, so be it, okay? So we're going to do a recon, and proceed. Oh, except I fucked it up because I pressed recon and I should not have proceeded. That was messed up. I thought I was just asking to do the recon, and I guess I needed to press the space bar. Oh well, we didn't waste the 10 minutes. Hopefully this doesn't do me in. All right, we're going to unbutton. Gunner is going to be operate the gun. Loader is reloading. Driver is ready to move in case we get notice that is a nasty. Okay, assistant driver is going to be on operate MG. This is something unspotted enemy. Now, where was that screen where I could tell where everybody was? I guess it's not on this screen. Okay, end phase. Oh, maybe was it V? No. End phase. It is a 37 millimeter and aircraft gun. All right. So those things fire really fast and they have a really long barrel. So yeah, they could cause some trouble. What am I in? Broken ground. I'm not going to get any closer to it. Okay. Um, it's hull down to the rear and it's packed up. Okay, that's important to see down there. It's packed up, so it's limbered. It's a limbered 37 millimeter gun. So maybe I got some time with it. I'd rather just shoot at it from up here. I really don't want to close it and improve its chances of doing something nasty to me. Okay, I'm still in the front arc. If I rotate, I'm not going to rotate. That's going to improve my chances of not doing something. So I'm just going to fire at them from here. We're going to not move, and we're going to fire high explosive, and it's the first round, so I only have a 0.5% chance of hitting them. Okay, hoping to get a rate of fire. No, miss. Oh, I guess I can't because there's none in the ready rack. Doesn't matter. I want AP in the ready rack. All right, it might fail a morale check and like freak. I mean, it is packed up. All right, so we're going to continue. And the shooting phase, we're done with that. Oh, they fired machine guns. I was spotted. Okay, which way is it facing now? It's kind of hard to say what exactly is going on here. I guess I can only tell what tanks are on the other screen. It's probably three tanks. Oh, here it is. This guy's Stefan. He's a 3G, and I got another guy, Sontag. So there's three of us. Sontag. Oh, what happened to my other guy? We were working so well together. He got moved into another company or something, right? Stefan Hoffman and Sontag. Sontag sounds like Sunday. Is that what Sontag means? Tag is day. Sun, Sunday. There's some guy named Sunday. Bastard. Nazi with a stupid name. All right, let's move the commander from spotting to direct fire. Okay, and we're going to leave everything just like that. Okay, we're going to end the phase. We're not going to move. We're going to fire on the on. We should have a better chance than a 0.5%. I suspect it's going to be like 20. Let me see how I. Let's see how I did. Yeah, full chance 20.6. Hey, I got really close. I didn't get kicked off. And continue. Ooh! Okay, so I got airburst effect also because he's in woods. I didn't know you could do that. I thought that was a mortar thing. But I guess I'm firing somewhat indirect. What airburst means is, when I used to play advanced squad leader, you wanted to attack people in woods with artillery. Because what happened is the shells actually strike and detonate on the limbs. So now you've got HE and limbs falling on everybody. That's what the airburst is. Okay? So because it's high explosive, we got some airburst effect. So it looks like I got 8 firepower on it. And I get an extra 25% fire. Oh, that must be what it is. It's normally 6 firepower. Remember from the last game? 6 firepower here, 6 firepower there. It's 6 firepower plus 25% firepower because of airburst. Because he's in woods. Okay? And that's just me. There could be the other two tanks. If they have line of sight to them, we're probably going to shoot at them. Okay? Except they're firing machine guns. 10 firepower on it. Destroyed. That's it. That's what was holding up the river crossing. Okay? What do we have here? This is a capture, and this is a convoy attack. Let's get the convoy attack done. Because you get +4 victory point. You get 3 victory points, +4 per truck destroyed. So that, if there's a lot of trucks, we could do some damage. All right. Now let's see what condition our hatches are in. Okay, everybody's unbuttoned. All right. Gonna go to 1. Okay, Q. Destinations enemy controlled. I'm gonna do a recon. Enemy strength in zone is 3. Let's drop in. Does it tell me what kind of stuff it could possibly? Motorcycle team. All right. Let's unbutton everybody except the commander. I'm getting better at navigating this. I mean, I got to it pretty good. The problem is it's just kind of rusty. If you could click stuff with a mouse, it'd be different, you know. But it's not very user unfriendly. You start seeing what keys you start using a lot. A lot of W's, S's, Q's, E's, AD's, and then the arrows. And then tabs, uses tab a lot as an enter function, and spacebar. That's pretty much the keys you use for the most part. And they're highlighted on there which ones you have. All right, so it's a strength of 3. We're going to do advancing fire, and let's not request any artillery support, okay? And we're going to proceed. I fired a total of 5 HE rounds, and everybody just dissipated. And I can tell you right now, one thing I'd like to do is go ahead and make the messages still a little longer. Because I'm like rushed to freaking read them. Very long, okay? All right, cool. That was easy enough to do. All right, so now we're in this convoy. All right, I want to go in there, guns are fucking blazing, right? I don't want to like something happens and it takes too long, and I don't get it, and I don't know that that could happen, but you know, it could. All right, so um, what's the hat situation? I want everybody buttoned up except the commander. Yeah. All right. Um, three. We're gonna go Q. I'm not gonna do a recon. We're gonna advancing fire. And we'll do unit support. I want to make sure we wipe everything out here. Proceed. Let's still do anti. Let's see. What's another armored vehicle? Armored. Let's do an armored thing. Okay. Select support type. Tab. Proceed. Here we go. I fired 1 HE round. I encounter enemy resistance. Resolving unit support request. I got it. I got a Panzerjäger 1 and a Stug 3B. Okay. A Stug 3B is a 75 millimeter Panzer 3. It has a short 75. That's basically the gun that's on the Panzer 4 at this time. It's an HE weapon, so really good for destroying trucks. Now, this is the Stug 3B, who happens to be moving in brush, but it's hull down to the front, okay? It can only fire forwards. Over here, we have a Panzerjäger 1, which is, if you saw that video that I did of my one game where I fired when I was attacking the BT-7, that's the little assault gun, that a tank destroyer that the Germans have. And we don't know what the hell's out here, okay? The commander's already on spot. Okay, I'm going to leave him on spot because I want to spot as much stuff as you can. Gunner, operate the gun, loader, reload, driver, get ready to drive, assistant driver. Might as well leave him on operate machine gun. All right, let's see what happens. I spotted a Russian truck, a ZI-6. Now, we know there's a truck there. I don't want to turn and face it because what if there's freaking tanks or something here? And I left the commander on spot. So this is like, other than making the gunner and the loader crew exposed, this was my best chance of spotting anybody. And I didn't spot whatever is back here. So I'm leery of that. Especially, I'm not too concerned because if they're going to attack somebody, they're going to attack this poor Stug that's right there. All right? And this Panzerjäger has got like nothing. I mean, hell, it's open backed. You know, it's like an open faced sandwich. So we're going to keep worrying about the threat here to the front. Okay? So we're not going to move. All right? What are my chances of getting hull down? 8%. And not bogging. I could try to go hull down with the tank. Let's attempt hull down. Unable to move in a hull down position. But yet I have line of fire to those guys, even though I haven't spotted them. Okay? And I don't know if they spotted me or not, but I'm going to let them have an HE. because you can actually knock out guys you haven't spotted yet. I got half of my. I could let them have an AP, but let's just drop an HE on them. Okay, it's probably not a vehicle of tank size. I gotta think I probably would have seen it. All right, so we're gonna drop an HE on it. Fire the target. Okay, base chance is 69.6, but the attacker is moving. It's an unspotted target. It's small caliber. Okay, all right. So here we go, and tab, continue. I missed. Okay, and it was a truck and another truck. Why do they have a Fiat truck? Okay, the other tanks are engaging out of the truck. I was spotted by that truck, and it unloaded an anti-tank rifle, but it unloaded an anti-tank rifle at longer range. Now that truck moves closer. He's moving behind the Stug. I'm just going to ignore it because the Stug is there between me and him. If that hex the Stug was in was empty, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Okay? But it's not. Actually, if this hex was empty and the Stug wasn't there, I'd actually think about moving forward to get not somebody showing up in point blank range. Because this truck is not unloaded at this point. Well, it did. It unloaded an AT team. Okay? So, Commander is going to direct fire. Gunner is going to operate the gun. Loader is reloading. Driver is going to drive. Assistant driver is going to operate the machine gun, which is basically nothing at this point. And the commander is crew exposed. Yeah, let's leave him crew exposed. At long range, we'll leave him crew exposed. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. We're not going to move. Now, here's where I can actually select the target. Oh, I actually wanted to toggle between the targets. I think there's a second target there. That's who I wanted to fire at anyways, but 16.1% chance of getting full effect. And boom. I got a partial hit, a near miss on him with 3 firepower. Let's see if any of the other tanks can contribute anything to that. Now you notice the Panzerjäger 1 did not like somebody looking at his open face sandwich. So he turned to face them. Remember, he's got no turret. Both of these vehicles, neither one of them is turreted, except the Stug has better armor than I do. You know, he's got our side armor is the same. He's got better front armor. He's got an extra 10 millimeters or something like that in the front. All right. this little guy, he's like, nope, you're not going back there. All right, we're going to continue and see if anybody can add any more firepower to attack on that anti-tank rifle at long range. Okay. Oh, they attacked the truck. They're attacking the truck with HE. And they destroyed it. Nobody else attacked my guy, and no effect on him. And they attacked the truck with 7 firepower. Looks like some machine gun. Nothing. And it moved further away. It didn't like that. Enough of that. Anti-tank rifle team is now deployed. I'm not going to turn around and try to shoot at that truck. I'm going to stay the course and engage that anti-tank rifle. Okay, direct fire, operate gun, reload, drive, operate MG. Everything is good. We're not moving. Okay, select weapon, ammo, fire at target info. Oh, this is where it's this where I can select. Okay, there is only one guy in the hex. Okay, we're going to fire at that target. And tab. Got a hit with 6 firepower. Let's see what else happens. Looks like the other guys wanted to join in. Panzerjäger 1 moves with the Stug 3B, and the Stug 3B turns around. And we destroyed the anti-tank rifle. Okay, now we just got a truck behind us. Okay, direct fire, operate gun, reload, drive, operate MG. Okay, that's good. We're going to end the phase. We're not going to move. The gunner is going to rotate the turret. And we need to change weapon HE. We're going to fire HE at that truck. Oh, line of sight. No line of sight to the target. So it's blocked. There's something in between the hex that I'm in and where he's at that is blocked. All right. Well, we'll leave that for future reference then. All right. We're gonna end the phase. So the tanks are shooting at him. They obviously have line of sight, and it was destroyed. No victory. Okay. So we destroyed the convoy, which wasn't huge, but it is what it is. All right, what's our next objective? Come back and capture this? Well, it's likely that if I turn around and capture it, that it won't be there anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a right, go across this field because I don't really want to cross these marshes to get to here. So I'm going to try to go in here. If I get to here and this still hasn't been captured, I'll go ahead and double back and capture it and get the victory points. If not, we'll follow this around and come in this way. All right? So we're going to go D. All right? We're going to recon it. Strengthen zone 4. Well, it's about survival, isn't it? Advance. Does it give me an idea what it is? Estimated enemy's truck. What is our... The commander's crew exposed, and that's the only one. It's unexposed, everybody. Those guys want to breathe anyways. Get some air conditioning in that tank. Open up them side doors. Okay. D, we're going to do some advancing fire, and I'm not going to call anybody else in. We'll just do our own advancing fire of our own platoon. Okay? And proceed. I fired 3 HE. I fired no enemy resistance. Yeah, the speed now on the messages is better. Okay, same thing. Let's move east. Okay, we're going to recon. Estimated strength 3. Does he tell me what it is? Tank destroyer. All right. Are there any tank destroyers that the Russians have in 1941? They don't have any SUs of any kind. Unless it's like an SU-57 or something like that, which it could be. SU-76 hadn't been invented yet. They don't have any half tracks. If they had an SU-57, that is a deadly gun. We're going to advancing fire. We're going to drop artillery support. And we're going to drop unit support on it. Okay, and we're going to proceed. And we don't want armored because none of these armored guys are nasty enough. No German tanks at this time. If you encounter like a Soviet tank and it's like a T-34, you don't want any of these tanks. None of these tanks are going to save your bacon. So we're going to go anti-armor. Okay? And we will proceed. I fired 6 HE. I encounter enemy resistance. Okay, I got a successful support. Artillery incoming. Oh, it's a T-28. 75 millimeter infantry gun. Had no effect. It's a T-28. So a T-28 is a medium tank that the Soviets had that's pre-war and doesn't have a lot of armor on it. I got an anti-armor support of AT rifles. Well, AT rifles can hurt a T-28, but it's got to be probably at hex range 1. Okay, so she is in open ground. Okay, so the commander is going to go to direct fire. The gunner is going to button up and operate the gun. The loader is going to button up and reload. The driver is going to drive just in case, Assistant driver is going to be on operate MG. We could hurt him at long range. Let's see. Is there a? This isn't for me. There we go. Has a short 76 millimeter gun and has a couple of machine gun turrets. Okay. It's a T-28E, so it's the improved armor one. It's got 60 millimeters on the turret front and eight on the whole front, or a factor of 8 on the front. Say it's about equivalent to millimeters. It just happened to be on the Panzer III. So he's actually pretty well armored. Um, this is the last version that they made of this 228 when they did away with them. We started building them like in 1933 and 35 and stuff like that. And this is the Model 40. So I see M40. All right. So he is in open ground, right? Let's try to get a shot on his ass. Um, I'm hull down to the front. I wonder if this. I bet that counts as the side. Let's try to get a shot in at him. Let's get a shot in at him. Operate gun, reload, drive, operate MG, end the phase. Not going to move. Rotate the turret. That's Q, right? Yep. Fire at the target. Okay, that's not bad, but we do not want. We're going to escape this. Whew. Select weapon ammo. We don't want to fire HE at him. We don't want to fire APCR either. We want to fire AP. We want to toggle. Why can't I toggle using the ready rack? He's on reload. Maybe I can on the first round. Okay, we're going to fire at the target. 17.5% chance to hit. It's probably going to hurt him if I hit him. Here we go. Missed. With that die roll, that's a terrible die roll. I bet I got his attention. It's got a big crew. I think it's got a. Let's see. It probably has a. It definitely has a gunner and a loader. That's 2. Plus, I believe it's got 2 guys in every one of the machines. I think it's a 6-man crew. Yeah, I don't think it has a commander separate. I could be wrong. Doesn't really matter. Tab. Continue. Let's see how the other tanks did. Remember, there's other guys here. It's not just me. Now, it looks like he missed. AT moved, but not far enough to enter a new hex. So the ATs are trying to move forward. Hold on a second. I just got a message. What is this? The older I get, the fatter my fingers have gotten. Okay. Well, I'm kind of in a predicament. I think I'm going to stand my ground. Oh, there we go. I'm going to stand my ground and fire from here. I'd hate to close in and him go, huh? Turn to face me, and I miss a chance of getting a shot. And he's hauled down to the front anyway, so he's. Oh. So look at this. If you look at where it says open ground, his hull is facing me, but the turret is the direction the turret is facing. Interesting. So I bet it's got. I'd have to hit him on the turret. Oh, this is. I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot from here. I'm going to shoot from here. If he turns his turret towards me, also, then maybe something else. Okay, we're going to end the phase. because everything stays the same. Not going to move. Okay, now we got the rate of fire. I guess on the initial shot, you can't do it. The turret, there's a rate of fire of 51.1% chance. So I have a 59.1% chance of getting a second round. Boy, I'm getting bombarded by messages. Okay. All right. That's the wife. Okay. And we're going to fire the target. 87.5% chance to hit. That's pretty damn good. Now, knowing what I know, if I had loaded APCR, it probably won't penetrate any more at long range than regular AP. APCR is like I'm going to have to be like at 1 hex range to see an improvement. All right? So that's why I decided not to select it. All right? We're going to continue. We got to hit and maintain rate of fire. So fire again. I hit and maintain rate of fire. So I'm going to fire again. I hit and maintain rate of fire. So I'm firing again. Now that's because I'm using the ready rack. Okay? And I hit. So what is that? Like 4 rounds at him? Hopefully one of them will hit the damn turret side, and peel his ass open. Okay, continue. All right, here we go. Get your popcorn ready. Okay, so the first one, no penetration. Does it say where it hit? Hit by the 50 in the hull front. So that one hit the hull front and only has an 8.3% chance of penetrating. Because it is a T-28 with the additional armor on it. Okay, so this had an armor of 8. If this was a KV, you'd be looking at like a 12. So this is like easy to penetrate compared to a KV. KV, it's like you're not going in, right? Okay, tab, continue. Next round, no penetrator because it hit the turret side, even though it had a 72.2% chance. So the first round hit the hull, didn't penetrate. This one hit the turret side because the turret side is facing southwest. Hit the turret side, hit the right place, had a 72.2% chance of penetrating, rolled 91.2. Hopefully the other 2 rounds do something. Okay, the other one actually hit the turret side and penetrated, all right? And it was destroyed. Okay, victory. I've lost radio communication with headquarters. Automatically attempt to reacquire it. I don't know what that means. Oh, I bet that means if I lose it, I can't call in those extra supports. Tab to continue. Friendly forces captured multiple zones, but they didn't capture this zone that I need to capture to get the 10 victory points. So we're going to go towards C. It's enemy control. Do we have any information on it? No, we're going to do a recon. Strength is 3. Okay. The strength is 3. And I really like that World War I game, by the way. A lot. Not enough to spend $56 plus shipping to get it. But I really like that game. Not enough to get miniatures for it. Because, like, you would just have miniatures here and you would... But I watched both of his videos. I don't know. Does he have more than 2? I really liked it. Estimated enemies, heavy tank. Now we got a fucking problem. So strength is 3, enemy tank. Enemy heavy tank. All right. We're going to do advancing fire. I don't know if it'll do any fucking good, but we're doing advancing fire. We're going to request air support. We're going to request artillery support. We're going to request unit support. We're going to make sure that we are unbuttoned because we want to make sure we spot these sons of bitches. Okay? So we're going to unbutton him and unbutton him. Okay? The assistant driver is already tired. Dude, it's only 8:51 in the morning. Why are you getting tired already? All right, Hoffman, let's see what this guy's got. I've got everything I can do other than ignore the zone, right? Yeah. Well, I'd play it, but the only way I'd play it is I'd film games. I mean, I'm not going to play by myself. That's a missed opportunity. That's a missed opportunity. All right, so we got a heavy tank supposedly there, potentially. We got advancing fire, air support, artillery support, unit support. Honestly, I don't know if the advancing fire is going to do that much if it is in fact a heavy tank. Okay, travel time 60 minutes. Let's go. What do we want? What anti fucking armor? Absolutely. Anti armor. I fired 6 HE. I encounter enemy resistance. Air support. I get air support. Okay, good. Collins Stuka. Trying to spot. 2 BF 110s. Unspotted unit was knocked out by air attack. And I failed getting artillery request, the radio. How about unit request? I got it. Panzerjäger 1 and a Flak 88. And I reestablished radio communication. So whatever it was, the 110s knocked it out. So it probably wasn't a KV. Okay. You know what, though? We lived. And just like that, your lips get that much closer to your next beer. Okay. What a great narrative, right? Well, so it's 9:51 in the morning. Oh, here it is. Victory points today 40. What did we get yesterday? 88, I think. What's our ammo situation with the HE? We're down to 49 rounds of HE. All right, well, the next turn is real easy. We're going to move to this zone here. We're going to move to the northeast. Assistant driver got you. I told him, stop being tired, and he got more tired. Lazy fucker. All right, Q. Proceed. You enter friendly held zone. All right. All right. So now our air support dropped to 65, but hey, at least it came in. Because you could like call it in and it not do anything and it still drop. Can we find out what that was? Not until the end of the day. It'll actually tell me what the unit was that it knocked out. I mean, I'll have to remember. Like, I don't remember killing a such and such. That's what the planes attacked. And there's a chance that it might have been an infantry unit, right? Because sometimes your intelligence is bad, especially for the Germans had terrible intelligence throughout the war. 6 smoke grenades. That's cool. You start using those if there's a KV. That's for damn sure. All right. So back to 3 here. We're gonna go to E. We're gonna do a recon on it. Strengthen zone 1. Okay, it's estimated to be a truck. I'm going to go ahead and everybody's crew exposed. That means we've got open hatches. I'm not even going to do advancing fire. Let's save the HE, and we're going to proceed. No enemy resistance. That was the right call. All right, same thing. We're going to go now to Q. We're going to do a recon. Zone 2, 2 guys in the zone. We're not going to do advancing fire. We're going to proceed. I encounter enemy resistance. All right, why is this black? Probably because I don't have line of sight. Line of sight is blocked. Okay, it may not be blocked from the other tanks. Okay, so I am going to, I'm going to keep him on spot because I am going to move. Or he could move. So I'm going to keep him on spot. Gunner is going to be on operate gun. Oh, and let's button up. And let's unbutton him. Okay. We're going to operate. We're going to operate the gun. We're going to reload. The driver is going to drive. An assistant driver is obviously going to be on operate MG, just out of habit. We're going to end the phase. Okay. We're going to pivot the hull. And we're not going to move. I don't know what the hell it is. Okay. So we're going to end the phase. We don't have line of sight. That's fine. It is a 45 millimeter anti-tank gun. So it's the same gun that was on the BT-5. Okay. And he does not have line of sight to me, but he has line of sight to the other guys. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to have the commander direct movement. We have the gunner operate the gun, loader is going to reload, driver is going to drive, assistant driver is going to drive. We're going to tell the driver to move and find a hold down position in there. And in the process of finding the hold down position, maybe we'll get line of sight to the tank, to the vehicle, to the gun. Okay, so we're going to end that phase. We're going to attempt hold down is a 13% chance, which must be improved by the direct movement of, I would imagine. So we're going to try to do an H. Unable to move into hold down position, and I still have block line of sight. Okay, no harm, no foul. Let's see what the other tanks do. Taking them under machine gun fire, 2 firepower on them, probably won't do anything, no effect. Okay, it fires, and that sounded ugly. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to end the phase. We're going to attempt hold down. Unable to get hold down. Still have line of sight blocked. They still fire machine guns at him. He sounds okay. This 3G is hold down. I'm not. Stefan has found hold down. Sontag did not. I think if I go hold down, I'm still moving within the hex. I don't want to just reposition myself. I'm like, oh, you can see him now, but you're out in the open. And I don't want to move closer. That improves his penetration on me. Okay, so same thing. We're going to hold down's now up to 23%. Unable to move to a hold down position. Okay. Taking him under machine gun fire. And they destroyed one of the so my crew members saw one of the other tanks get destroyed, and they're shaken by it. Who was it? Sontag? Yeah, because he wasn't hold down. So it's not just Stefan and I. I think we need to keep doing the same thing. Now we're up to 28% chance. Unable to move to a hold down position. Now it's just one tank shooting at him. But he got 10 firepower. And he destroyed him. So he lost a tank, but the AT gun is not dead. Well, now we got 2 tanks. All right. So Q it is. Now we're going to be more likely to do like advancing fire and stuff like that because there's only 2 of us. Okay, let's do a recon. Strength in zone 1. Let's do advancing fire. Fuck it. Does it tell me what it is? Light tank. What's my hatch situation? Some button, everybody. Okay, travel time 30 minutes. Let's do some advancing fire. I'm not going to request any support if it's in fact a light tank, and we're going to proceed. I fired 2 rounds. That's pretty low and no resistance. It's like the rest of the front stopped advancing. Usually it was like consuming a lot of things while I'm doing my little thing here. Perform reconnaissance on this zone to determine level of enemy strength. That's my objective. Okay, so we're going to do Q. We're going to do a recon, and I get the points for that. Infantry squad. Um, or I can decide to go through the hills. I think I'm just going to advance. What kind of zone is this in? Villages. Let's do an advancing fire. Take the tank crew. Button everybody up. And proceed. 3 HE rounds I fired. No enemy resistance. Okay. Now, E. I'm going to go in that way to the northeast. Recon. Enemy zone 2. Support weapon team. Let's look at the ammo situation. I still have 44 rounds of high explosive. We're going to do advancing fire, and we're going to proceed. 7 rounds of HE they fired. No enemy resistance. Yeah, sure. You just started shooting rounds everywhere, and like, let's get the hell out of here. Okay, and advance the map because I moved onto there. But here's my capture point. Right. So we want to capture that. What's this? This is another convoy attack. This is a capture, and then there's nothing up here. So we're just gonna have to try to push off the board if there's enough day left. Okay, so let's do a recon here. Let's do D, and we're going to do a recon D. Strength in zone 4. Motorcycle team. All right, let's do advancing fire. And can you get cut off if you advance too far forward? There's scenarios when you're on the defense, and yeah, that could happen to you. So yes, there's definitely some variables. Advancing fire. Hold on, it's time for a Coke. Be right back. They're little, and I'm a professional. Be right back. Actually, I'm gonna take a bathroom break too. Be right back in a moment. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I had no idea I was gonna enjoy this as much as I have. Now I've enjoyed it before. It's just been a long time since I've been playing it, so hopefully you're enjoying it as well. Hell, I'll do this again. And what I like to do is, the first time I ever did this, that I got this game, I just started painting my World War II stuff again. And the first vehicle I did it in was a Jagdpanzer 4, because the first one I did was a Jagdpanzer 4, and I did that, and I believe I have a video that's of him doing it, and I've done Shermans and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, this could be a regular thing. I don't mind doing it. It's a see, now you look at the screen, and now the screen doesn't look so shitty, right? Because you just get used to the fonts, you get used to the looks. It doesn't look like, maybe that happens to people that like play Catan. Because I look at Catan, I'm like, I can't play that fucking game. It just looks like it's too like boring looking. But like I'm looking at this screen and it looks good to me now. I mean, obviously it could look better, but like I'm used to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but okay. So we've got this motorcycle teams supposedly here at a strength of 4. We got advancing fire. We're not going to call artillery support. There's lots of day left. And now we're down to like 65, 70, 70, 65% for the air support, 75% of the artillery unit support, 65. We need to save that when we really need it. When we get another like, oh shit, there's another heavy tank there. You got to save that for that, okay? I think we can proceed with that. Fired 3 HE rounds. I encounter enemy resistance. Let's see what it is. Okay. I am in brush, and I'm hull down to the front. I like that. Okay. The commander is spotting, but he can only see short range. Okay, so we're going to have him go crew exposed. See, now we can see all those zones. Gunner is going to be on operate gun. Loader is going to be on reload. Driver is going to be on drive at any moment. It could happen. The assistant driver will move him into operate the MG in case that unit decides to be infantry and scooch forward. Okay. That's it for the phase. Yeah. See, now it was like really clunky, and I'm like, man, I don't remember it being this slow. And I'm like, all right, now we got this game on. Now we're all lubed up. Now we know how it goes. An AAMG team. It's an AAMG team. Well, we can fire on it from here. He's in open ground. Is he moving? No. Let's come in. Oh shit! I pressed the wrong fucking button, but I didn't move. I wanted to move the menu down to have him do something else. That's okay. I hit the back. I need to stop doing that. No big deal. Shit happens. It's the schnapps. Okay. Yeah. We'll operate the gun. We need to move to high explosive. Fire at the target. Wow, I'm surprised it's that good a chance to hit. Would have been even better if I didn't accidentally move backwards. And I missed. Well, 51.2, of course. Okay, continue. And see what the other tank does. He fired on him with machine gun. No doubt coaxed that range and destroyed him. Good job, Stefan. I believe that's what his name is. Completed an objective. Okay. So, this is another convoy attack. Let's go Q. We're going to go there. We're going to do a recon. Strengthen zone. What is it? Anti-aircraft gun. All right, that's advancing fire. Oh, that's advancing fire. That's artillery support, which wouldn't be that useful with a heavy tank anyways. I'm not going to call in our unit support. Let's see what the ammo situation is. I'm down to 33 rounds. I don't have to go to back for base for that. I just have to call in for a resupply. 55-minute travel. Proceed. I used 1 HE round and found no enemy resistance. Alright, we got this truck situation here. What is my hatches? I'm crew exposed. Everybody's buttoned up. I like that. We are... I will go ahead and we're going to go towards a Q location. We're going to do a recon. Zone 2, it better say trucks. Infantry squad, and we're not going to do any advancing fire. Well, is it going to add time? No. Okay. Advancing fire. Let's go. Fired 4 HE rounds. Enemy resistance. Oh, I like the range that that's at. Okay, commander's on spot and crew exposed. Gunner is going to be on operate gun. Loader is reloading. Driver is driving. And the assistant driver is operate MG. And we're done with the phase. Enemy rifleman. Okay? So we're going to, first of all, pivot the hull. We're not going to move forward. That's all we're going to do. We're going to operate the gun. It's on HE. We're going to fire at the target. There's only a 5% chance of getting a hit with that. Okay? That's the first one. It's a spotting round. So we're going to hit tab. 25. I bet that 25 will hit next time. See what the other tank does? I was spotted by the rifleman. Okay? The dust around you has completely settled. Didn't realize it was dusty. Okay, now we're going to move the commander from spotting to direct fire. He's going to operate the gun, reload, drive, operate machine gun. Yes. Okay. No movement. We're going to fire on him. Firing HE. Yeah. 42.4% chance of getting full effect. Right? So we're going to continue. Got to hit and maintain rate of fire. Fire again. And I got another 6 firepower. So I got 12 firepower on them. And they're in what terrain? Fields are probably fucked. Okay? Let's see. Yep. Destroyed. Okay? That was the convoy attack. So I did a convoy attack, but really didn't get very many points because there were no trucks there. Alright, what do we got here? 10 victory points. So look how much days left. I don't think I'm going to be able to move the board to get potentially other objectives. Now, you still get points taking over these areas. It is just not huge like moving. As a matter of fact, the deeper you go, the more value these things have. So, for instance, this is worth 10 victory points. This is worth 5. This is worth 6. This is worth 6. This is worth 7 because you're going deeper in enemy lines. I don't think I noticed that before, but that's pretty cool. They put a lot of stuff into it, and I don't know if they're still updating this game, but they would update this game very frequently. Okay, let's try to take this other captured zone and then go deep. All right, we're going to avoid this fortifications. Okay, we're going to go A. Sorry, I'm reconning on everything. You know, I don't want to freaking die. Enemy strength zone 3. You gonna tell me what it is? It doesn't tell me what it is. What potential units? Maybe the recon didn't go that well. Oh man. What is it? Open ground? What's the hatch situation here? The commander's crew exposed only. Alright, well that's good. Oh, it's friendly controlled. Oh, so I reconned it and then the friendlies took it over. Okay, that works. In the 10 minutes that the recon took, the friendlies took it over. Okay, we're going to proceed then. Heavy cloud in front rolls in. Summer, heavy clouds. That means no air support. What is this, some villages? I'm doing a recon. Enemy strength zone 3. Support weapon team. We're going to do... How's the ammo situation? 25 rounds. We're going to have to do a resupply soon. I'm not going to do it now. I might run out of time. I'd like to capture that zone before we run out of time. Okay, so we go over to 3A. We're going to do advancing fire on there. I'm not going to add any other supports. We're going to proceed. 5 rounds of HE, no enemy resistance. It looks like the friendlies took that fortress. You have lost radio communication with your headquarters. What that means is you can't call in these support things. You see how they're blacked out here? Looks like you can request unit support, so you can request unit support guys that are nearby, but like upper echelon HQ. So we're gonna do Q. We're gonna do a recon on Q. Estimated strength in zone 10. 10. 10. But it's a motorcycle team. All right, let's look at the ammo situation. 20 rounds. Can I get support? I can do advancing fire. I can request artillery support, right? And unit support. We're running out of daylight. Let's not use the air support yet, but let's use. Have we seen a 10 yet? No. We've seen a 6. Let's make sure we capture this zone. Let's drop the artillery, the fucking air on them as well. The whole Panzergruppe is getting dropped on your ass. Okay, let's proceed. What do we want? I still want anti-armor. I want anti-armor anytime. I mean, unless I was in a Panther, okay, and it was like 1943, I wouldn't select anti-armor. No, I probably still would. You would just get more Panthers, or a Nashorn or something like that. Okay, here we go. I fired 2 HE rounds. I encounter enemy resistance. I would hope so. Oh, shit. I did not get air request. I got a guy right next to me. Artillery. Come on, give me artillery. I didn't get artillery. Come on, give me a unit. I didn't get a unit request. It's just me and the other Panzer III, and I got some son of a bitch over on my port quarter. Oh my god, and I'm in the brush, and I'm hull down to the front. Oh my god, what the hell is this? Probably infantry. Shit, I gotta button up. I gotta button up. I can still see. We're going to. What are we gonna do? We're going to. There's a small spotting phase before we move, so I'm gonna leave him on spot. Gunner is going to. Operate the gun. Loader, reload the damn gun. Driver, oh, you better believe he's on drive. We're probably going, not driving is right. We're probably gonna rotate. Even though I'm hull down, I'm in a hull down position, but I'm hull down to the front. And my front is facing north, and this is south, not necessarily north, but towards the top of the, well, technically that would probably be east. And, he's on the quarter here, so we're just gonna have to give up that whole position. That hold down position. And the assistant driver, yeah, get your MG ready, pal. Okay, as soon as I hit space, there's a small spotting chance here. We'll see what happens. You spot an enemy motorcycle MG team. Okay, movement phase. Pivot hull. Okay? Now you see, as I pivoted, it still shows my tank is now hull down over here. Because that's the direction I was hull down in. So something over here was, and hull down just means it's basically you can see only the turret. So you have, generally it gives you better protection also. Most tanks have a little bit better armor in the turret than the hull. Most tanks. I would say 80% of them, maybe even 85% of them. A few of them don't, just because the hull might be sloped and the turret has a flat spot, and you know, you run into issues with that. But okay, everybody's buttoned up. The gunner's going to operate the gun. The assistant driver is going to operate the MG. We're looking at a motorcycle MG team at point blank range in the fields, dug in. Okay, you can see down here in the bottom corner, they're dug in. Okay, we're done with movement and the phase. Okay, HE. Let's make sure we don't botch this up. Let's be really careful about selecting our weapons. Bow machine gun, fire. Those numbers aren't that bad. Those numbers are not that bad. Full effect. Okay, let's put an HE round into their ass. Fire at the target. Not bad, because it's really short range, even though we did a rotation. Even though we rotated the whole tank. Let him have it. Okay, he got a direct hit as well. So it's normally 6 firepower. Remember that 6 firepower on the HE now it only becomes 3 because they're dug in. So now we have a total of 6 firepower on them. We have 3 from the bow machine gun, and we normally would have had 6 from the 50 caliber the 50 millimeter HE, but it's halved because they're dug in. Okay. Continue. Let's see what the other tank can contribute anything. That's what machine guns. We got 12 factors so far, and we destroyed them. Reestablish communication with your headquarters, and we capture it. So that 10 was one motorcycle team. So let's just say there's a lot of variations in what you can have. All right. So it is 1856, and the day is going to end in an hour and a half. My ammo situation on HE is less than ideal. But if I ask for a resupply, I don't know that I'll get more than one more turn. So I'm going to go with the 17 rounds of HE. I'm just going to stick with that. We're going to go to 2, 3. You see people are getting tired there. We're going to go E. We're going to try to drive deep. This is worth 6. That's worth 7. I'd rather... Yeah, we're going to go here. I got to do a recon. There's no way I'm going to pass it. Strength in zone 3. What is it? Artillery gun. We're going to advance fire. We're going to request artillery support. Oh, that's air support. My bad. Request artillery support. Well, there's not much time left. I'm gonna go request. It's not like you didn't use it, so you're more of a badass. You don't lose any points by using it. I don't think you do. And we're gonna use it. Unit support. We want to survive. Okay. Proceed. I'm still gonna do anti-armor. I'm still gonna do. Fired 3 rounds of HE. No resistance. Campaign day random event. Additional artillery support has been made available to you from command. Okay, so now support. I guess it would have dropped even more. Well, what time is it? 1951. So we've got time for probably one more turn. So let's go deep. Let's go deep. Let's go E. And let's do a recon. Estimated strength 1. I'm going to advancing fire. I'm going to request artillery support. I don't think I'm going to get another turn. And I'm going to request unit support as well. And I'm going to proceed. And yeah, anti-armor. Last thing we need is a KV-1 at the end of the day. Fired 3 HEs. I encounter enemy resistance. Resolving artillery request. I got it. It is a 45 millimeter anti-tank gun. Ooh, it's a 150 millimeter infantry gun, but no effect. That's strange. Combined arms. I got them. What did I get? A Panzerjäger 1 and a 37 millimeter anti-tank gun. Is that gun facing away from me? It is. The Soviet anti-tank gun is facing open ground in the rear. All right, we're going to direct movement. Nah, we don't want them any closer. We don't want them any. We're going to direct fire. Let's not get cocky. Let's not get cocky. I don't want to fight fair. Okay. He needs to unbutton. Okay. He's going to direct fire. He's going to operate the gun. We're going to reload. Driver is going to drive. Assistant driver will leave him on the operate MG. And we're done with the phase. Okay, we're going to rotate. Oh, I pivoted the wrong fucking way. There we go. I'm going to attempt to hold down. Okay, I didn't do it. HE is up. Fire at the target. This is just a spotting round. Not much of a chance of hitting it. And missed it. Okay. Okay, the 37 millimeter anti-tank gun is unlimbered. It was horse-drawn? I don't know that they ever horse-drawn 37 millimeter guns. Certainly not in 41. What moved here? Horses? Okay. Direct fire, operate gun, reload drive, operate MG. Yep. It's still facing the rear. Okay. I want to find out what the hell that tank is that the aircraft took out. That supposedly was a tank, right? Yeah. Okay. So command phase, direct fire, operate gun, reload, drive, operate MG. Okay. We're not going to move forward. We're going to fire at it. That's a pretty good chance of hitting them. 34 base of 34.8. Got to hit and maintain rate of fire. Let him have another one. Missed. Okay. Looks like he got rate of fire. And the 37 got in on it. And the horse limber moved. 11 firepower on him. Routed. He's trying to pack up. Okay. Well, in that case, we're not going to direct fire. We're going to direct movement. Let's operate the machine gun. We're going to move forward. Attempt 2. Okay. So the coaxial only fires 2 hexes away. Now, I wanted to move forward and start engaging with machine gun fire. The coax only goes 2 hexes away. Okay, well, I want him to not get away. Try to get a free kill here. So, I wonder why I can fire at my own target. Can only fire smoke at friendly units. Okay, well, you know, nothing's going to happen there. 37 millimeter takes is another shot. Horse limber moves away. Now, why are you moving towards the enemy? Resolving 6 firepower on him, reduced him, has surrendered. Okay? It's all the way out. It surrendered to the horse limber. That's what it was. The horse limber wanted to go up there. Okay, that's the end of the day. So here we go. The tank that was knocked out by the ME-110 was in fact a KV fucking 1. Wow. Got lucky. I got lucky that I did not have to encounter that son of a bitch. That would have been the end of my platoon. Wow. ME-110s to the rescue. ME-110 is that twin engine Messerschmitt looking thing. It's a cool looking plane. Close air support. All right. 9 engagements fought, captured 18 zones, 226 points, a lot better than 88. And my gun still works. Didn't kill a lot of units though. 37 millimeter anti-aircraft gun, a Fiat 621. What the hell the Russians are doing with a Italian truck? Who knows? Got 2 trucks, an Italian one and a Soviet one. Anti-tank AT rifle team, a T-28, the KV-1 that was taken out by the ME-110s, 2 45 millimeter anti-tank guns, 2 motorcycle MG teams, and a rifleman squad. Okay. Pretty fucking cool game, don't you think? Pretty cool game. The Hoffman lives. Let's see what we got. Fate survived. You've gained familiarity. Okay, Hoffman gains 1. Okay. Why did I get this advertising thing that came up? I don't want that. Skip. Skip. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign these points, and then we're going to save, and we'll pick this up next time. I'll pick this up next time you're available. How about that? And you want to see more of it. It's pretty freaking cool. And hopefully it won't be like 3 years where it... Look, I wasn't that rusty, you know. Like knowing what you want to do is simple. It's just a matter of, okay, what screen is it on, that kind of thing. So we're going to continue. The day is ended. Okay, here's where we add the crew member skills. Okay, Hoffman. Let's see what kind of new skills he can do right now. Experienced driver, no. Driver direction, no. Explorer, what's driver, no. Driver direction, no. Explorer, what's this? Greater chance of quickly finding a crossing point when attempting to ford a river, no. Tactical retreat, increased chance to successfully withdraw from a battle when directing movement. Yeah, if that's what I would have done if I actually would have encountered that KV. Steady hands. Unsticky situation. Light 'em up. Fuel saver. Flamethrower attack. Eagle-eyed. When crew exposed, slightly increases chance for this crewman to spot and identify enemy units. That's looking pretty good. Firefighter. Reduces chance getting knocked out. Quick reflexes when crew exposed slightly decreases this crewman's chance of injury or death from incoming firepower attacks. Let's do eagle-eyed. Hoffman's got good vision. And she's done. Oh my god, Hoffman's a she! Okay, we're gonna escape. We're gonna go to the gunner. Okay. Let's see what skills are available to the gunner. Crack shot. Yep, that's what we're doing. Crack shot. Yep, that's what we're doing. What's eagle-eyed do? What's eagle-eyed do? Okay, this gunner's not really going to be CE. Quick reflexes, anything that improves that. Chance to Firepower attack. Okay. So what we're going to do is, what is the next expert shot? It's a perception thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a point to knowledge. Okay. We're going to go escape, and we're going to increase the stat of knowledge. Okay. And we're going to increase that stat. Yep. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the skills now. And we actually have quick trigger available. Slightly increases the chance of maintaining a rate of fire when a crewman is firing a gun. So I can take quick trigger now or crack shot now. I think I'm going to go ahead and take, oh, we got nose weak spots too. Slightly increased chance of scoring a critical hit when crewman is firing a gun at an armored target. Let's make sure he's a crack shot first. Okay? We're going to add that skill. Yep. Okay, he's done. Escape. The loader, who gained a point. He's got fast hands only. Is there anything else you can learn right now? Steady hands, burst fire, gymnast, fighting spirit, gunslinger. None of those things are really useful. So we're going to go ahead and add increases knowledge up one, because it's sitting at a 1. Like, dude, read a book, you know. So we're going to increase the stat, and we're going to come down here to knowledge, and we're going to increase that stat. Yep. I like that it asked me, you sure you want that? I'm like, okay, good, because it's easy to fumble that. All right, and he's done. The driver, who's done pretty well so far. The driver is all 3s. Can he get anything new? Steady hands on sticky situation, light him up. No. Probably the next thing I'm going to get him is probably lightning shifter. I need knowledge of 6 for that. So I'm going to come over here, increase the stat of knowledge, start working that up to a higher level, and increase it. Yep. All right. And then the assistant driver, does he have any skills he can learn? Train driver, light him up, call him, fuel. What thing here could he be good at? Conflagration, spray and pray. What spray and carries at SMG? Nope. Just a scratch, flesh wound, trap spotter, firefighter, fire spotter, MG spotter. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make him a trained driver. So if something happens to the driver, he could step in. That's what they would do anyways. You know, it's called the assistant driver, right? So we're going to add the skill. Yep. Okay, so here is the tank crew. Campaign VP is 314. Let's see if this is where I can save. Close menu, unit gallery, save, and quit to main menu. All right. There's your music. I think after a while, this sounds like something off of like Doom or Castle Wolfenstein. That's what it is. Wolfenstein 3D is what it sounds like. Honestly, it sounds pretty good considering what's available. Anyways, pretty cool game. Gregory Adam Scott. There you go. It's 2021, so it's 4 years old. Even though it looks like it's 40 years old. It's really a pretty cool game. Alright, folks. Thanks for coming by. We will see you on the Russian front next time.